Yo ho ho! What's going on, guys? This is Grim Reaper bringing you guys another session of the One Punch Man podcast. Today we're covering a hiatus period. We haven't gotten a chapter in about 2 weeks, I believe. It's been quite a while. So we're gonna be doing a discussion stream on miscellaneous things as well as chapter predictions for the next chapter. As usual, though, in order to take on this endeavor, we gotta have a whole coalition of heroes out here. So we brought them. What's going on with y'all niggas?
Man, I'm chilling. We chilling.
We good, man. We doing so good right now.
Yeah, we're doing so good. Oh God, so good. So glad that we're doing good right now.
It's like you're getting some head right now.
Yeah. Like, damn. The tone of your, the pitch of your voice went up so high. I was like, damn.
Oh shit, yo. Nah, man, we're just doing that good. It just feels like I'm getting ahead, even though I'm not.
Oh yeah, quick news update. Zhoniin finally cleared up his copyright issues. So he's back to business.
Yep.
All the videos that he had concerns over are now public again, so make sure you check those out. A lot of great content. And I believe his upload schedule should resume, correct?
Yep. This whole week, it's been daily.
Facts. Check that out. But in the meantime, let's hop into this overview type shit. Let's start off with these predictions for next chapter. Any thoughts? Any basis? Anything that we should see? Any development for Puri? What's going on?
Yeah, since we seen Puri Prisoner last chapter, I think it's going to be focused on him, and then we'll see him dominate because it's been a while. It's been a while since he has done something significant, actual long while. So I think next chapter we'll see him bust some heads, pause because it is him. Yeah, like that's a major pause because you know how he likes it. But yeah, I just think he's gonna showcase why he's an S-class hero. But I think by the end of the chapter, we'll see dragon class monster that's going to whoop his ass. I mean, I don't want to see him get his ass whooped, but I mean, yeah, he's going to get his ass whooped. That is a guarantee.
Damn.
That's a guarantee.
So it wasn't enough that against Deep Sea he got his ass whooped. He got to get his ass whooped again.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of because Deep Sea was a demon level monster. We know he's like high up there, but we have like Bug God left. We have goddamn G5 left, and I think that's all the demons. Devil Long Care. Those are all the demons left. So and the rest of dragons, and I don't see him fighting any of those demons I just named because we already know Yan has a bone to pick with him. So if he ends up fighting Puri Prisoner, it's over.
My boy Puri. I agree with Satsuki all the way up till you said he was going to get his ass whooped. Nah. It's Puri. He's going to apply the ass whooping to everyone. And then maybe when a dragon comes, it'll be more difficult. And maybe someone will tag team with him. But he will continue to apply that ass whooping. I believe in Puri. Hashtag love that guy. No homo.
Is that all one hashtag?
That's all one hashtag.
So yeah, the last chapter did leave off with Puri with his arms crossed, tanking a shot from what we can assume fodder monsters. So I guess that means that 105 is going to open up with whatever is going to happen with Puri Prisoner. So I don't know if like the whole chapter is going to focus entirely on him. I hope it doesn't because we still have some unfinished business with the disciples and Devil Long here. I'm really curious to see how that plays out. So it's possible 105 might interchange between what Puri's doing and what the disciples are doing. At least I hope so. But on the Puri side of things, I assume that he's going to run through these fodder guys because why wouldn't he? They're nothing compared to him. And then he eventually, I suppose, has to encounter the transformed prisoners from Smelly Lid Prison, the prison that he comes from. because this was kind of set up in chapter 89, the chapter we were just talking about before we got on here. It's either one of those chapters, 89 or 90, when Nian is talking to the prisoners and they're like, hey, yo, if Puri Puri shows up, bro, let us take care of him. You don't got to worry about that. We'll beat him. We'll give him a taste of his own medicine, because it's kind of implied that Puri Puri was like abusive to the other prisoners in his cell. I mean, when I first read that section of the manga, I thought maybe they kind of liked him, but apparently they don't like him, like based off of what we're finding out from the monsters that were abducted by Nian and given monster cells. So it's also stated by Nian that they were kind of powerful, I guess, as humans, like, because the area that they were in the prison was like for the real bad ones. Like, they can't be in general population. That's why Sonic was sent there with them. So like only the real bad dudes go there. So we got the top tier of prisoners, I guess, transformed into monsters, taking on Puri Puri prisoner. So does that mean that they're like demons? I don't know. I don't really know if we're ever really going to get a legitimate disaster level to these guys, but I assume that collectively they're probably going to be a challenge for Puri Puri prisoner, I assume, since it's been built up at this point. He's definitely probably going to beat them. I don't see them defeating him. And then after that, that's when we enter the territory of him possibly getting his ass beat. Maybe Nian. Maybe somebody else.
For me, he's not one of the guys that's been like given like a direct identifiable plot line. Like for example with Genos, we kind of somewhat know that he's on his journey to like locate this assassin organization that the cyborg is from, and we know that like his path has been about growing stronger continuously, even though he's had struggles along the way every single fight. But that's what his path is going. Other characters have that too, like Saitama. Obviously, he has that. Goro obviously has a great impact like that. And you would hope that all the S class would eventually get a storyline or a glimpse or some type of hints as to what theirs may be, what their path or journey may be going along towards. Child Emperor didn't really get that, but I kind of got like feeling his is about like growth and like the future. Same thing. He's a child. Who else? Flashy hasn't really gotten one, has he? Or any inkling of a story moving forward, has he?
Flashy?
No, not really. He's kind of just like, I'm a badass, and I'm just going to keep proving it.
Ben?
We need something from Darkshine.
Yup.
That's what we need, something
We
from.
We just need anything from Darkshine. Like, the manga hardly has touched on him.
It's coming. It's coming. It has to be coming. I just don't know.
I mean, it's definitely coming. He's a part of the strike team for a reason.
Bet. But with Pooty, I'm not exactly sure what his lines are. Because, like, I fucking loved whenever we're in the tournament arc and Lightning Max was getting ready to fight that guy. And then, I think it was Shuri who was getting ready to fight. Yes, that's exactly what it was. It was Shuri who was getting ready to fight. And then we got that silhouette of him picturing and thinking about, I just got to focus on becoming stronger or getting to that next level. And then he pictured a deep sea. So like that, just like that subtle connection, that subtle thing right there, it gave us a strong point as to what Lightning Max's like thoughts are, his state of being in the story is current right now. But for Pooty Pooty, even that same example was only applied one time. You remember when he had that flash when he was up in the air and shit, and he thought back to deep sea. He was like, every single one of your punches has to be like a
killing intent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a killing intent, finishing move type shit. That's the only thing that we really got from it. Like, he's grown from that experience, but I don't think he's gonna be a fighting meathead. If any of the S class are gonna get some type of like role through emotional stimulation, no homo, it would be him.
Yeah, that's definitely what is going on with Puri Puri Prisoner. He feels inept compared to the other S-Class heroes because, for all intents and purposes, he's likely the weakest one. Maybe not at this specific point in time because, Tank Top Master hasn't really had much growth since the hospital moment that he had. But other than that, like Puri Puri Prisoner is like probably the weakest S-class hero. He knows it, and he feels inept because of that. So he's been trying to get stronger ever since I don't know, after like Boros' invasion. So that's why we get the flashbacks to him remembering Puri Puri Prisoner. He's also learned from it too, because the thing that he did to that monster in chapter 94 where he just lights him up and explodes his body, that was like what Deep Sea King did to him.
Oh, the hug, right? The bear hug shit? Yeah.
No, the just the Gumu Gumu Gatling.
That was a good comparison. I like that.
But also another thing that you were talking about earlier with the Lightning Max, remembering Deep Sea King when he's fighting Suiryu. I like that scene because it does show the motivation that Lightning Max has for just anything, just giving some depth to his character. But also after Suiryu like one-shots him with a kick, he's like, sorry, I'm just stronger. And I think that's like a little subtle wink to the audience of being like, yeah, Suiryu is stronger than Deep Sea King.
Yeah, yep, 100%. That's how I took it as too. Yep, cause he just yeah, bro. Man, I don't mean to get off topic for a second, but is there any possibility, any type of sprinkling in your heart and soul? I don't know if the webcomic has covered this, of Shiryu coming back into the storyline as a hero, or coming back into the storyline at all?
I'll do you one better. Suiryu is not even in the webcomic.
Oh my god. Oh yes. What's up?
Bro, he gotta come back, dude. Like, given the amount of screen time this guy was given, and then kind of when he saw Saitama and how he defeated, who was it, Goketsu?
Yep.
He the way he just looks at him, you can see just by the drawing without the dialogue how much he's been inspired by Saitama. And like, he doesn't necessarily need to come back as a hero for me, but he does need to be involved with the story moving forward, maybe somewhere down the line.
I think there is a very strong chance that he will not only come back to the story, but he will join the Hero Association. Because at the end of basically his character arc, after Saitama destroys Goketsu, he's like, hey Saitama, do you think I could be a good hero? So that right there, I think, is setting it up. I mean, why else would he say that? Because he's going to come back eventually and be like, you know what, let me try this hero shit.
The reason why I have hope is because Murata gives us that. He doesn't play on some bullshit where he'll show us an aspect of a character and not come back to it. Like,
that's what I'm talking about. Like, they don't fuck around in this story. Good example, Phoenix Man. Phoenix Man, we just see him off one side panel talking about, oh, so that's how Giro Giro made Orochi so powerful. Oh, okay, that's cool. Then you don't really think any of it, and then a couple chapters later, he's fucking reviving people, and he's a high dragon.
That's literally the example I'm talking about. Yes, yeah, where he foreshadowed something, and it came true to an amplified extent. What is an example? Glasses. Glasses is a guy who's getting that heavy as fuck. He may have the best what should we call that? Literary potential, I guess, or just potential. Would be the proper word.
Maybe, but Glasses is so subtle. Like, it's really too bad how subtle the buildup of his character is. That's also another reason why I think my Glasses video did so well, because people don't know him. Like, the only real instance in the story that we actually get of Glasses is in when he's with the team to take on Garo. And then things aren't really ever, like, focused on him too much. So not everybody has read the bonus chapters that show Glasses' journey.
It's a shame, because I do want to agree that, like, before, because I remember that there was a character that like had good potential, but I never took anybody serious like that. And then once the hype around your Glasses video came up, and then I saw people talking about it, and I checked it out, and then I reread the chapter, and I was like, oh. And then I saw it in consecutive context with the Garo fight, and like, this is serious. like Glasses may really be somebody.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But like, you don't really understand that unless you were to read a New Wind Blows bonus chapter. which I think is a part of like the third volume or something like that. But regardless, like it's not a part of the main manga, and it's not included in season 1. Which, if it was going to be included into the anime, it would have been season 1, not season 2. So that was axed from it. So we don't know anything about that. So when we come into chapter 81 or 80 or 79, 80, and 81, we don't really understand the significance of glasses. We're just like, oh, he's just some guy who's just an underdog guy. And then also like the other bonus chapter that he's a part of in volume 17, I think, the one where we see him encounter eyelashes again. Like that's not going to be in season 2. That's not going to be in anything. It's just a bonus chapter that hardly anyone really knows about. There's like only one like rough copy of it on the internet. It looks like it was like photocopied onto the internet and then like some rough translation over. So if like that's hardly even out there, then even less people know about it. So that, I mean, all of that together is like making me kind of worried that maybe Glasses won't pan out the way that I think he is, because they're only really showing his journey in side chapters, meaning that they only really want the hardcore fans to know about what's going on with this character.
No, I got this 100%, no, 99% I agree, but what he did in the fight against Goro, that was more than enough for me. I could have not read anything else, and just using that context, he would have. I would put a card in the potential pile for him. He's sitting there. He threw a punch at Goro, bro, like hand to hand, them. Like, sure, all the rest of the A and B rank heroes in that fight were also making the situation somewhat perilous. But Goro's comments towards that individual that gave me even more insight. You to all the viewers, if you guys just read that chapter, I think it was like 83, 84, 85. Just read those 3 chapters.
It was 81.
81? Okay. And then you'll see like, yeah, bro, like that's.
No, I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that. You're totally right. But what I'm saying is that that's all they have to go off of. They don't know that there's already this big established arc to this character already.
Do you think for season 2 or after season 2 like it did for season 1 that the OVAs will have significance, or will it be more like?
Honestly, I don't even know if we're getting OVAs for season 2. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't, considering that they're not even finished making season 2, just the base episodes yet. So I guess we're not getting any OVAs. I mean, I don't know anything. I don't even know how many episodes we're getting of season 2 at all. Just taking a guess. I'm assuming we're not going to get an OVA. But if we do, I hope that it's Glasses centered. just show his journey. It's super interesting.
I need me a Glasses chapter. I need me a King chapter. King in the cafe.
Oh my god, I wish. I fucking wish. But I mean, even if we do get OVAs, it's likely going to be original stuff, just like in season 1. Like, all of the OVAs from season 1 aren't bonus chapters or anything. They were kind of just, I guess, made by Madhouse and Bones. I'm not even sure if one wrote them.
Really?
I'm not entirely sure, but I wasn't able to find much information on it.
Okay, we gotta check that out, because they weren't horrible. They just weren't like... No, because wasn't the... When they went to the spa and Tatsumaki killed Zombie Man, that was an OVA too. Yeah. And that was a side chapter as well. So it's, I guess, 1 or 2 of them could be.
No, that wasn't a side chapter.
That wasn't a side chapter?
No, none of the OVAs are a side chapter.
So that was in the actual season?
No, it was only an OVA.
So that didn't happen in the manga? In the side chapter in the manga?
No.
I could have sworn I saw that drawn, bro. For real?
Maybe it was some fan art, but there's no side chapter of any of the OVA stuff.
God damn.
Not even the Road to Hero one where we see Saitama's like comeuppance and him getting the costume and stuff like that. That's not even a bonus chapter.
Damn, bro. I don't.
So that's why I'm saying it's like I don't know if one wrote these or it was just kind of Madhouse and Bones taking the wheel on these things.
See, this is kind of like, so then should we? All right, realistically, then let's take it to this part. Looking at the industry as of yet, or to the big boys in the industry as of yet, particularly Attack on Titan. I don't know why they literally cut half of a season in half. I don't think I've ever seen it done before. Or go ahead.
I was just saying, I was just talking shit, but
I was gonna say this is your territory.
I mean, I don't have a problem with them doing it like that. It's weird that they call it season 3 and split it up in 2. Like you said, I haven't seen it done before, but I'm not mad at it because Attack on Titan has high quality animation. Like season 2 was like one of the best animated seasons of Attack on Titan, and it was the shortest. It was the short. Well, now this season is going to be the shortest, but it was only like 12 episodes, and this season is going to be 10 episodes. So I'm perfectly fine with them doing that. We only had to wait 6 months, I believe. If it's high quality, like I have no problem waiting like this, but it was weird. It was a weird decision. I'll say that.
Is it possibly because of production issues or schedules in general, or they just had it planned the whole time? Do you even know?
When they first announced it, they said Attack on Titan is going to be 24 or whatever it was, 24, 22, 23. So I'm not sure if they planned this or not.
Gotcha.
So I don't mean to keep pushing us off topic, but like, we were discussing this the other day for gaming, how the concept of pre-ordering.
Wait, discussing what you cut off?
I said we were discussing this in terms of the concept of gaming. That the concept of pre-ordering is helping like destroy the quality of games. Whenever you give a company money beforehand, and then they can establish their sales like that, what's been happening the past 5 to 10 years is that they'll give you some bullshit, and then over time they'll fix it. They'll add the patches to it, and that's how it's been continuously happening more and more so often. The big example was No Man's Sky. It took No Man's Sky 2 years using the funds that they already made from from selling the game, not previous to fund the game, but like funds from after they bought the game to fix it up. And that's completely unacceptable. That's not unacceptable. You don't buy a fridge that's gonna be fucking made 2 years from now and then have that at your house. That's not how that works. So that's been one thing that's been really feeding that industry and hurting it. So I'm not sure if we're seeing an aspect similar to that for anime, because the genre has been, as far as I've been watching and paying attention to the anime, it's changed. Previously, before you would get long running anime where there weren't season breakdowns. It just keeps going. Naruto was like that. Bleach is like that. One Piece is like that.
But that's what killed Bleach.
Yeah, because of all the filler bullshit. They couldn't keep up with the manga. Yeah, but as of recent, I want to say the past 5 to 6 years, maybe 4 years, it started to turn into the seasonal portions where you'll get those like 24 to 12 season episodes of a thing like that, and then if it has success, they'll make another one. They'll keep it pushing and shit like that. And I guess that's fine financially, but is it always gonna be fucking like that now? Are we gonna start getting this bullshit?
I hope it is. I hope that if it's a manga adaptation, they should do it in seasons. But if it's like its own unique thing, which is rare, like something, it's like an anime not being adapted on a manga. For example, Dragon Ball Super. Like that is one of the rare examples that I personally know of where an anime is just made and it's not based off of a manga or anything. So that was able to just go for like 3 years. It was able to just run with no issues of having to keep up with the manga or anything like that. So if we have shows like that, go for it. Give us weekly stuff. It doesn't matter because you can really do anything. You don't have to worry about the manga or anything else like that. But if it's adapted from a manga, just make seasons. It's like, especially for us Westerners, not including you, Sundown, but we're used to seasonal stuff. Like that's how we get things. Like we watch Game of Thrones or whatever else from season to season, and it's fine. because it'll be like an event to us, like, oh, yo, Game of Thrones coming around, or even like sports, football, we get it in seasons. All other sports besides combat sports, we get them in seasons. So we look forward to it, and it gives us time to like reset, recharge, and then come back to it, the next year or however long it takes. And it also makes things better. In my opinion, it makes the seasons better. It probably takes more work off of the animators, which I hear is just, for the most part, awful for them. It's like sweatshop labor almost, and it's just really bad at this moment in time for a lot of the animators out there. Like, a lot of them can't even hold on to a job because of the way things are. So they kind of have to be freelance, and they just go from studio to studio hoping to get like a paycheck from that. But giving us seasons means, like, okay, we know that it's going to be good. We know that we're going to get the episodes, and we know that it's likely going to be high quality as well because they had time to work on it. Like with My Hero. I'm like a My Hero stan now, and I can't do nothing but praise it, but I think My Hero has really been doing this well. Like, the adaptations that they have been doing from the manga, in my opinion, makes it better. Like, I think the My Hero anime is better than the manga. And I usually don't say that. I usually think that the manga of things is better than the anime. Like, the One Punch Man manga is better than the anime, in my opinion. I think the One Piece manga is better than the anime. The Bleach manga and the anime are kind of equal. But I think the My Hero is, like, definitively better than the manga. But I'm not saying it's bad. I just think the anime is that good. And I think it's because of the seasonal thing that they're doing with it. They're taking their time. Especially, they're taking even more time with season 4. Because it was supposed to come out in like this month maybe. But now they're pushing it to October. And I think they're doing that because this season coming up is really important. It's the best arc of the series so far. So they're really taking their time with it. So the fact that they're doing this with One Punch Man is good. But when I hear that they're not even finished the season yet, kind of has me worried. Because, like, what have they been doing all this time? Why are they just beginning to work on it now after announcing it a couple months ago?
Well, because there's a few things I want to hop on that with. Just in reference to One Punch, I'm not as worried about it because to me it seems like more of like a touch-up conversation when something like this is mentioned. It always happens like that in movies where, like, sometimes even for big-ass huge studio productions, they're not done editing until like the last 3 weeks, 2 weeks before it even hits the premieres and stuff. So I'm not extremely concerned with that, even though it could be a potential problem. We know anime is different than like big ass production movies who get millions upon millions, hundreds of millions. But I have a prime example. Castlevania for Netflix. So Netflix original series. They had a 4-episode first season. And I guess
solid.
Amazing. But the second season was much longer, and I thought it was trash.
I didn't see it yet, but I'll take your word for it. I was going to check it out eventually, but
definitely.
I assume it's trash because I haven't heard great things about it.
Definitely worth checking out, but I just don't want it to be a case where the quality of animation is reduced because of, like, for any particular reason. Now, I agree that the biggest example would be, as you said, overworking the animators in like in a continuous production where there are no seasons, like One Piece, where it just keeps going. And that could be a big ass problem. And you can tell for One Piece. You can tell when like a big ass fight's coming, the animation changes dramatically. Like dramatically. They did that for Naruto. The final fight animated completely different than any other fight in the series. Completely different. An entire war arc completely animated differently than every other fight. It's because of money. So when we do get those seasons for like One Punch optimally, where last time it was 12 episodes or whatever, and a prospect of this being 12 episodes as well, it scares me because I don't know what kind of like combination they were gonna put in or we're gonna get. I don't know if it's gonna be like 12 episodes because the animation is gonna be top tier, really good and out of there. If it's 12 episodes because, like you said, they're not done with it for some stupid reason and they're delayed in some issues and it's going to be regular quality. Like, I don't know what kinds of issues these anime networks or anime studios have with their problems. So whenever we got the first trailer, right? The first preview trailer, and people were making fun of the king face, whatever. I wasn't too worried, but I got upset that like that's the first response we get. The first response we get is like these like anime onlys from like 3 or 4 years ago, casuals or whatever, that are complaining about what King looks like when you don't even read the manga. And it's like, I just don't want the anime to be a source that removes attraction from the storyline because of its animation quality. Seven Deadly Sins is an example of this. The first season was fucking badass. Very, very cool animated, amazing. But once I started reading the manga and I compared it to the second season was super subpar. Super subpar. Animation was lacking on all kinds of time periods. They skipped a lot of shit. And One Punch isn't something that you should skip. Like, everything on the page is fucking amazing. And for One Punch to be drawn this good, arguably the top 10 drawn manga in my opinion, that's current running.
Oh, easily.
Like, you have to have the highest of standards for animation. Attack on Titan does an amazing job. A lot of those short running seasonal or even just single run anime, they do an amazing job of animation and shit like that. So I can get behind a shorter anime season, like Satsuki's saying, 10 episodes, 12 episodes, sure. I can eventually get down behind it because I read the manga. It just cannot be that short season is lacking in anything. It cannot be lacking in anything. And that's my problem. I can't expect the studio to be perfect, but it has to fulfill that expectation.
I do want to say that even if, and this is going to sound like weird, but even if an anime is bad for a certain series, that is still, it's like good. It's like any type of publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, I know that.
It's like because let's say it's good, okay? People might want to check out the manga, but there's some people who may be like, okay, this shit is so good, I might as well stay at anime only. And it's some cases where it's really bad, like Berserk is like the best example. Really horrible adaptations. 97 one was all right, but other ones are trash. It's super trash.
I know you're thinking about that 3D looking one when you said that.
Yeah, 2016 one and 17. That was so fucking horrible.
It's like a meme supermarket.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna pull up a GIF of that, but it's like, even if it's bad, that can still turn people to the manga because people are gonna be like, whoa, this is really shitty. Maybe I should check out the manga instead. Because honestly, how I got into manga, because I was an anime only person until I don't know how many years ago. I watched Claymore, I believe, and the anime ended so weird. It was very rushed. And then I said, this doesn't feel right. And I ended up picking up the manga. And ever since then, I've been reading manga. Like, I think I picked up Berserk after that, then One Piece after that. I mean, I guess it depends, but I do agree that having a good adaptation is the best way to pull in people into your series if you want them to check out the manga, because there are a lot of people that they're not interested in picking up the manga for One Punch Man. And it's sad because I'm like, the art is beautiful. This is like as good as you could get. And there's just some people who just don't want to pick up the manga regardless. So whether the anime ends up being bad or good, I think we'll get some new people in the community either way.
I agree completely with everything you said, but more specifically what you said about people who don't want to pick up the One Punch Man manga because of whatever. Maybe it doesn't have enough hype behind it, or I think that's what it comes down to is hype. Because if like bigger influencers were to hype the One Punch Man manga or anyone, then it would get more attention. I think that's what it needs. And this also goes back to what Grimm was saying about people making assumptions on season 2's teaser and saying how it's shitty and whatnot when they didn't even read the manga. And I don't want to name names here, but I
name those pussy ass fuckers.
No, I'm not naming them. I don't do that. But I did talk to one big person in particular who was shitting on the teaser, and I asked him, "Oh, well, did you read the manga?" No. And then, oh, okay, gotcha. So you are right about that. And also, it's like, it's too bad that they don't read the manga, because I know that I'm, a stan for One Punch Man and whatnot, but I legitimately do think it is one of the better mangas out there. Like, it's not like it's the only one I read. I read plenty of manga, multiple series, and One Punch Man is fucking fantastic. Like, the artwork, the story, the characters, the subtleties to it, it's really fucking good.
Bro,
I just wish more people knew that.
It's pointless to even say this because the people that are listening to us right now, they're all One Punch stands.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not selling it to them. It's just like it's like we're all like in a hive mind right now in an echo chamber.
Like, it's just I had a big ass issue on Twitter like the past few days when I was complaining about the recent One Piece chapter, and a whole coalition of One Piece stands.
They jumped your ass. They jumped you.
I got jumped.
Get him! Fuck him up!
I was complaining about something that I've heard others complain about continuously for years now, and it pushed me over the edge on this occasion because it was so insignificant that I don't see why this would happen, and it's the technique.
What was your complaint?
So
it was a panel where I'll let Grimm say it, but it's just like Oda off screen shit. But I'll let Grimm explain it.
What did he off screen in chapter 936?
He off screened the Beppo capture, and it's okay. It's not really, because I disagree with Grimm on it being off screen, but I know what he's talking about. It was like a jarring page. It's a page where we see Sanji, and then he's like chilling there with Nami and Hawkins and Drake.
Oh, wait, you're talking about when he confronts X-Drake and Hawkins.
Yeah. And then the next page, you see him just like in the air. That shit was so weird. I thought
I missed the page.
And then he was like, I'll explain it to you later.
Yeah, that was weird. That was really fucking weird.
Yeah, see, I didn't have an issue with that, to be honest. I mean, like, the way I read it was just that X-Drake and Hawkins were so shocked that they finally saw, like, a character from a story they'd been reading since they were kids. They didn't actually do anything.
I don't think they fought.
Yeah, I don't think they fought.
That's not what I'm saying. All right, so here's the problem. But in the same chapter, we were getting build up for Drake, a supernova, an individual, a part of a group that Oda himself is hyped up to be very particular and very exciting characters, and we should all look forward to see. Half of an arc of Whole Cake was pivoted on the interaction between us and another single version of one of these supernovas. So now we have two extremely hyped characters. One of which we've seen previously in the arc, who was formidable. Now he's returned back with another individual who's also been foreshadowed to be formidable. And they're in the same exact place together, causing threat in there with the intent to cause threat to one of the Strides, one of the main members. Then we get the setup to where he gets into the situation, he gets thrown into there, stands in front of them, is literally inside of a room with these two individuals who said they're here to capture him and they're looking for him. It doesn't matter if he escaped. It doesn't matter if he flew away. It doesn't matter if he teleported. Draw me how he did that. There is zero reason in the story of One Piece as to why an individual would escape from two supernovas and you would not draw that. How did he escape? Did he throw some gas down? Did he just run out of there and grab them?
Some gas.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like people were telling me, oh, he's invisible or whatever. Like, okay, draw him turning invisible, draw the reaction that they had to that, and then draw him capturing them and leaving. Because those are all things that are required. I'm not just gonna assume like some people are doing that, oh, they just escaped. What? When Whitebeard fell down behind Akainu, right? And then the next page we see is Akainu on the ground, is that okay? That's really what happened.
Look, Grimm, I feel you, bro. I feel you. He should have illustrated whatever that him getting out of there. Even just a little side panel, just a third quarter of a panel. Because I know Oda loves doing that shit. Mm-hmm. But just one of those, maybe. If we don't get an explanation in the next chapter, yeah, this is kind of fucked up. But I think Oda is, I don't know, he's kind of just lazy with that stuff. But honestly, like, speaking of Beppo, like with his off-screen capture, after I read that panel, I was like, oh shit, Beppo's there. I totally forgot. So there's a whole bunch of shit besides just off-panel stuff that Oda is kind of failing right here. But Yeah, we'll see what happens in the next chapter, but I understand why you're so heated.
Yeah, and that's what leads into the conversation we were talking about the One Punch manga. Like, this doesn't happen. Like, the one time where I even have any memory of something like this even happening for a small instance, and that's why I said this is a technique, because it can be used to bettering the story. He has used it before to bettering the story, but Oda does not use it to better the story. He uses it for laziness, or for to allow them the anime to animate it, whatever it is. But that's an issue for manga readers. The only time it happened for One Punch was the Zombie Man fight, where we had just finished another instance where it was going to be the exact same thing. You know, Phoenix Man revives constantly, and now we probably didn't want to see that again, the exact same case, but I would have been cool with it. But Murata decided to just give us the I think it was like 30 minutes later spiel, and then we saw the results of the combat. And then
I'll tell you why. The only reason he did that, it's not because he personally wanted to, but that's actually how it happens in the webcomic. So this is one. So one originally, like the fight with Pure Blood. Of course, it's not as long as it is in the manga, but in that fight, like, you know, he catches some bullets, and then it's like 30 minutes later, and then he's dead.
Okay.
But like, considering based off of that, like, the manga expands so much more onto that fight.
I was going to say, I personally don't have a problem with it because we seen the fight beforehand, and honestly, I don't want to see Zombie Man killing or Zombie Man getting killed. What was it, 300?
200 times.
Yeah, I don't want to see that shit.
No, but like that kind of helps the point that, like, us as, like, you know, stands the anime in the One Punch community, so like that, we may feel like that, maybe even unanimously feel like that, but the story still has to flow. So that's why I was still kind of like upset that we didn't get to see all of it, because regardless of how I personally feel about the story in that time period, it still has to keep running. So that's why I was hoping that we would still see it, or even if I was tired of seeing a revival or whatever. But that's one of the few instances in the story where Murata used that technique, while Oda spams that technique. And that's why I wanted to, like, whenever Zhoniin mentioned earlier that, like, or agreed earlier that, yeah, like, One Punch is really like top 10. I don't know why people aren't talking about it more. It really is. We don't get the same problems that we do get in other series. I'm not getting 15-page chapters every week to get a break every third week. That doesn't happen to me. I can't barely understand the art and the attacks that are going on there. I don't barely understand the references that are being made in the thing. Like, it's not like that. It's not. I'm sorry. It's the issues that other mangas have, and not all of them. It's a different case for every single story, but it's not the same. One Punch has very, very little issues. If the biggest issue is probably like fucking us ourselves reading. It's month to month.
No, that I was just gonna say that's what it is. We just miss stuff. But if we go back and read the chapter again, we'll catch it. But with One Piece, you could sit looking at that panel all day and you just can't make heads or tails of what the hell is going on in it. Mm-hmm. Like in this chapter recently, one of the things that Queen was doing, I was like, what the fuck is going on here? What is this? What am I looking at? And I'm like, is it me? Am I not able to understand this? Or I don't know.
And you know, niche art styles are niche. I think I'm saying it right? Yeah. Particular art styles are particular. You know, I'm not trashing Oda for how he draws. It's different, and I would say confirmed inferior than Murata's, but it's still a niche art style. People like how that has drawn or whatever.
You can like kind of see in the chapters with Oda that like you could see where he didn't give a fuck, and you can see where he actually tried, and it goes up and down like his levels of enthusiasm.
Hey, I can't talk shit. I'm a Hunter fan, so I'm gonna stay quiet.
Yeah, but I suppose that you have to kind of remember that Murata has maybe longer time. I'm not sure like how many other things he's working on, but he also has longer chapters in which to kind of showcase little things that are going on. So like, whereas Oda might be trying to save space to get another page of something else fitting in, you have Murata who can just drop like a 50 burger.
I try not to compare them because Mirada, first of all, is like a freak of nature. Like you're just born with the level of talent that he has. You can't really learn what he does. But also Mirada is just the artist, as where Oda is the artist and the creator of the series as well. So he's worrying about so many different things. As where Mirada just goes off of the storyboards from one. As where Oda, I don't know if you guys have seen his workshop, but it looks like a true detective. The room that Matthew McConaughey has, it's friggin' insane.
I'm gonna sound like a dick when I say this. A fucking dick.
Do it.
I don't give a fuck what your workload is. At the end of the day, me, just the same as the little boy in fucking Canada, reads what's on the page, reads what's on the website. That's what we see. We don't have the ability to look into your personal life or look into your personal dealings all the time and understand how hard you're working, how hard your life is, how hard your culture is in terms of like hard work and getting your stuff done, achieving your goals. I don't have that ability to have complete insight to that. I cannot relate completely to a mangaka.
Nor are we expected to.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying, that like, if that's really such a complication as to why your artwork or why your story comes to us or gets to us in this state, then it's your job or that company's job to make combinations to make it to where you can improve the quality of your book and also improve the quality of your work conditions and your own personal life. Like I said, that culture doesn't necessarily allow that to happen like that. Japanese people work exceptionally hard, exceptionally long hours, and they take exceptional pride in their work, job, goals, all that stuff like that. And it's not that other people don't, other cultures don't, but they in particular are known for that. So I'm not saying that I don't understand the workload that Oda in particular, who's had health issues because of how much he writes, is dealing with. But once something like that comes up, you're making millions. You have editors there with you. This is a company that's almost largely dependent on you. One Piece is a cash cow, a complete cash cow. It's not like you can't make certain demands or set up certain conditions or get certain things to start running. Like the breaks that he does every month or something like that. That's a condition to where I don't like it, but I understand why it's there. You need to rest, you need to get health, and it helps you write better stories. Sure, all that's fine. But at the end of the day, I'm still getting 15-page chapters, while Murata's giving me 55-page chapters every like 3 weeks, or sometimes even every 2 weeks. I got 150. Whenever we say 155 pages, we have to say it, extended. We gotta exaggerate it from now on, because that's feet out there. 155 pages. Pages.
But I mean, this isn't just an issue that's sole and kind of unique to Oda, though. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure Zhoniin will be aware. Maybe not so much Grimm because he doesn't read it. But My Hero, it has been plagued with like really short chapter lengths for like a long time. Always within about, I think we've had some 13-page to 16-page ones for a long while now. And I'm not sure how long the last one was, but I think for a solid like 2-3 months we were just getting 15 pages, 13 pages.
I think there's a minimum that Jump sets for the amount of pages that your chapter can have. I could be wrong, but I think the minimum is like 13.
Wow.
Like your thing needs to be at least 13 pages to be in the Jump.
Yeah, so I think it really just depends on how the author himself feels the story's going to flow, how much he feels he needs to get out that week. But yeah, I can see kind of where you're coming from. But like in regards to this chapter in particular, this One Piece chapter, I wasn't really annoyed by off-panel shit or anything like that, to be honest. I mean, I've been annoyed by Oda before in terms of how he's off-paneled certain events, but this one, not so much.
I'm just saying, bro. Y'all niggas has been in this podcast for almost 6 months now, I believe so. You ain't never, ever, ever heard me talk shit about a One Punch chapter. You ain't never heard me say that. That's all I'm saying, bro.
No, I think that's true. I don't think you have. The only shit you talk is on the character.
He doesn't even talk shit about the characters, bro. He just makes some weird ass backstories.
Yeah. He'll invent shit to talk.
Like when a One Punch chapter comes out, it's literally an event. Like I'm not sure if it's just because of the whole monthly thing, but like that's just an event, bro. Like you look.
It's like a good day. Yeah, it's like oh shit, it's a good day today. One Punch chapter drop.
Sit there and get your dick sucked, and you see your website the notify you. Ding, 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 One Punch chapter blah, 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 just came out. Oh shit! Let me bust that and get to it, dog. It's into that, bro. I'm fucking with it.
Going back to like how One Punch is kind of unheralded as being one of the best, I feel like it's like a really, really good band or rapper that like only like a select few people that know about, but they have like one gigantic mega hit song that almost everyone knows about, but no one else wants to go into their discography. That's what I kind of feel like it is. Like One Punch Man Season 1, everybody knows about it. Everybody knows One Punch Man, but they don't want to go any further than that. So it's kind of like this excellent high tier band or rapper that we all know about on the underground, but everyone is just sticking with all the mainstream stuff, like One Piece, My Hero, and I guess Black Clover. So, when it's like, wow, the One Punch Man chapter is, I don't know, probably better than all of them.
That's a fair point. Yeah, Karen.
And
I mean, not overall better, but at points, the One Punch Man chapter is definitely stronger, I'll say.
And you can kind of attribute that to. Hold on 1 second. Oh fuck. Hold that thought.
Hold on, I gotta get this nut out.
Oh man, so One Punch Man would be like Africa by Toto. People know all that. They all know that song. Do you know that song? Please tell me you know that song.
Of course, it's one of the biggest songs ever.
Oh shit, y'all don't know that song, do you?
No, I'm. Oh, that sounded sarcastic. I'm legitimately serious. It is one of the biggest songs ever. It was like the Gangnam Style of the '80s.
What's it called?
Whew. Africa.
Africa. I bless the rains down in Africa.
Yeah. This guy knows.
Weezer just covered it.
Oh my god! Please no.
Hey.
Bruh, I heard like this going real off topic now, but there was a Pitbull version of Africa in freaking Aquaman.
Because I'm singing it.
Bruh, I was like, the fuck is this shit? Like you can't just go out there and ruin a classic like that, bro. You're killing the classics. Like, the fuck is this?
Hey, money.
All right. So in the meantime, when Satsuki gets back,
where's Satsuki? What happened?
Yo.
It sounded like you were nodding.
I forgot what I was doing. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah. I was saying you can kind of attribute the fact that people don't want to go into the One Punch Man manga to the fact that the anime ended on a good note, because it was like Saitama versus Boros, and that was like it's still to this day a big highlight of One Punch Man. And sometimes when you get an ending like that, people feel like, I don't need any more. Honestly, I think that's how some people feel. And then again, there's just some people who don't feel like picking up the manga.
Yeah, there's got to be some truth to that. I mean, there's a reason why.
Well, don't you guys also think that it's a bit because, like, especially because it's so kind of, it's a parody and it's kind of incredibly satirical. Don't you think that people, they watch the first season and then they don't continue on with the manga because they're like, okay, it's a parody. There's not going to be any further development in the story.
Yeah,
or any further development in Saitama or anything like that.
When I first watched One Punch Man anime, I thought that for like the first couple episodes. I was like, oh, this is just a satirical parody gag anime. This is pretty fun. But as it went on, I would say after the Deep Sea King fight, then I was like, oh, this is like a legitimate series. Yes, it does have parody elements and satirical elements to it, but it's not like completely that. It is a legitimate series. I mean, after season 1 in the manga, so I guess chapter 38 to current, it isn't really ever like full-blown parody the way that it is in season 1.
I think.
Oh no. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, we know, having read onwards, that there is no, like, there's still some funny elements. But I'm thinking that the people who don't continue assume that parody and satire continues.
No, yeah, it could be that too. If they weren't able to figure it out after, halfway through the season, then I guess it's very possible that they just decided upon themselves that it was always going to be like that.
I think it's the episodic thing. a lot of these traditional ones are just one straight storyline that's just continues forward. But you have to realize that One Punch does the exact same thing episodically. Like all the instances that we see, they do build those characters continuously for their future, but they're not all going to be connected. They're resolved conflicts, and that's one thing that you don't really see in those. Like you don't see that in Naruto. You don't see that in fucking correct me if I'm wrong, My Hero. You really don't see it in Attack on Titan, where like there's an issue, one portion, and then you can solve it. And solving that issue is what builds a character, not dealing with that issue for 5 to 10 chapters or 20 chapters or a whole arc. It's like that was a big issue. This character is capable of dealing with that. We saw how, and that's built for that character. And that's one thing that I like. You don't have to spend 30 years to give him like, oh, intelligence. No, you give him the intelligence feats right there. He gets them done quickly. That's like. Let me just put that aside. I'm gonna start fanboying again, but if I guess my biggest point is that if we were able to get such a huge wave for One Punch Man season 1, where you got all kinds of people reacting to this shit, even currently now, and it's probably because season 2 is coming back up. I'm seeing fucking grandmother and mom react to fucking One Punch Man. I've seen that, bro. Like mom reacts to One Punch season 2, like grandparents. Yeah, I've seen that shit before. So like, if season 2. And I'm gonna fucking put all my fucking coins into this jar, be hopeful and shit. But like, with what season 2 is, we should get that. We should once again get like the whole anime community moving left and right for One Punch Man. It should happen. It's just that hiatus really tore it down. Till this day, I think that like after the first era of the big 3, the next big 3 in terms of like how they move the community, it has to be Attack on Titan, Sword Art Online, and One Punch Man. Like the entire community moved when those 3 things came into play. Till this day, you see all kinds of like obscure anime fans. They're not in our same group, but it's a very big group. They're all about Sword Art Online. That's an iconic anime for them. Attack on Titan till this day has changed everything, bro. Like, Attack on Titan is that name, and then fucking you got One Punch. Like I said, like everybody heard about that shit. Oh, it's a guy that wins in one punch? That shouldn't be stupid. Check it out. Oh, ha 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 ha. It's badass. The animation was badass. It's like, so I guess that's probably why I got so mad at the content creators that were talking shit when the trailer come out. And unlike fucking Zhoniin, bro, I'm about fucking attacking niggas, bro. I want to smoke all the time, bro.
You're breaking out right now. What'd you say?
I think he just at someone, but nobody got it.
I didn't hear. I just heard.
Same.
Look, bro.
That was an aggressive pause. I'll say that.
I'm about talking shit, bro. I want all the smoke, bro. You're not finna talk about One Punch and get off scot-free. So I'm gonna name one person. I ain't even met him before, but I'm gonna name one person. Chibi.
This guy naming people, bro.
Did it, bro.
This guy
did it, bro. First, when the fucking preview came out, the first motherfucking shit I saw was like, oh, King looks fucking trash. The season 2 looks like fucking it's gonna be buns and shit. Like, I'm not even sure this motherfucker covers the fucking manga or even fucking reads the fucking manga, and he's talking shit like this.
He doesn't.
That. Oof. Yeah, fuck that shit, bro. And I'm gonna call out another nigga because I'm all about the smoke, bro. Some nigga named Yonko Productions or whatever on Twitter and shit.
I knew it was coming,
bro. Out there dropping fucking like tweet after tweet. Oh, this shit looks bad, bro. This shit looks fucking trash. Oh, this season's done for. Like, Nani? Who are you?
I definitely don't agree that you should put out this negative atmosphere about something before it even comes out. I mean, I understand what he was saying because he was like, oh yeah, they're not finished up with all the episodes, and that's fine, and it's not super rare from what I've been told. But for you to say that and have everybody kind of like in this depression state, kind of try to kill the hype of One Punch Man before it even starts, it's like, yo, if it's bad, we'll know it's bad. Like, you don't have to tell us before it even happens.
It's just too bad that influencers like that have said influence, because after people like that just say these off remarks, then other people will start saying it and parroting them, and then it'll keep spreading, and now it's just the consensus opinion, which it never really was validated in the first place. It was just some dude who had a couple subscribers said something. So it's like, because, those two guys that you just mentioned, they, they perpetuate this notion of season 2 is going to be trash because of a 18-second clip that we saw from the teaser where we only see the characters speaking.
They weren't even in motion, bro.
Yeah.
No, they weren't. So we just see the characters speaking, and we've got two big influencers saying that it's going to be trash. So all of their fans are going to parrot it, and then their friends are going to hear it, and it's just going to keep spreading and spreading and spreading. And we got to the point where we are now, where we just have like a couple of the vocal minority, such as ourselves, saying, guys, no, whoa, no, it's going to be fine. But that doesn't even matter because the damage has been done at this point.
So
yeah, and I want to clarify. I don't have a problem with people talking shit about something, because if it's bad, call it out. I'm one of those, like, some people think that if you have negative opinions about something, you shouldn't say anything at all. I disagree with that, but I'm just like, yo, the shit hasn't come out yet. Can we see it first? That's all I'm asking for.
If there was like legitimate criticism to give to that teaser trailer, go for it. I'd even do it myself, but there wasn't. We didn't even see anything. We just saw what the characters look like.
Bro, Genos looked good. Genos looked good as fuck, bro. Like,
I think everyone looked fine. Even King. I mean, he didn't look great, but he didn't look like this abomination that they're making it out to be.
Yo, I'm waiting for season 2 to finish airing so we can get some high quality Fubuki hentai. That's what I'm waiting for. The hentai has been subpar.
Like standard, or you're talking about like that Overwatch hentai stuff?
What the fuck?
I mean, fan art, it doesn't matter. Like, fan art, doujins, whatever. Like, you guys do your thing, because some people don't know who Fubuki is.
What did you say, Satsuki? Did you jacked off to yesterday? What was it?
I mean, it wasn't yesterday, but am I good? Can y'all hear me?
You're good now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let it rip.
Oh, I was just saying that we need some good Fubuki fan art, good Fubuki doujinshins, because there's some okay ones, but we can do better. I know we can do better.
I was thinking about reviewing One Hurricane, but I'm like worried.
I saw that. I think I posted a link for that. It's an actual it's a real One Punch doujin, isn't it? Is that what you're talking about?
I mean, it's not real, but I mean it's like one of the more accomplished ones, I guess.
Yo, this one is like, it's continuous. It has multiple chapters. The art is competent. The art is competent.
That's what I'm saying. Like, whoever made it is really good.
Like, one of the disappointing hentai, like, when it comes to hentai on different series, one of the most disappointing things, if the characters just don't look like the characters. I mean, you don't have to be a copycat. You could do your own art style, but like, you can't have Fubuki looking like, I don't know, fucking Robin from One Piece. and then you can't like have their titties the size of mountains. Like, no.
No, that's what I'm saying. Okay. You got to make them proportionally accurate to their real counterparts. Because like, if Fubuki has like a Robin physique, it does nothing for me. It's like, oh, cool, just another hentai thought.
Oh man.
Are we seriously kind of reviewing hentai right now?
Bro. That's what this podcast is about.
You say season 2's gonna bring that, bro.
We should just have like a One Punch Man podcast, but like, instead of chapter whatever in the title, it should be One Hurricane review. We'll review it.
See, that's a long ass laugh, but this guy gonna do it.
Dude, tell me people aren't gonna watch it.
No, it's funny because there's this obscure manga that's just starting off that Satsuki covers. And I'm like,
wait. Oh, okay. It took me a while. Okay.
So now I'm like, what if I start doing that for hentai?
Oh man.
I mean, like, I'm not gonna condone it, but you do your thing.
There have been people to make hentai reviews, like anime hentai reviews.
There has to be something like that on YouTube.
There is.
There has to be.
I posted them. Oh fuck! I sound horrible for this. Look, bro, I wasn't, looking at the video for research purposes. I just stumbled upon it, and it was cool. But yeah, there's this guy. If you guys check out the Discord and the big news promotion channel, who recently did a top 10 best hentai, or not recently, but it's a top 10 best hentai, and I guess he covers them regularly for every year. But yeah, bro, this guy named Destiny.
Are his videos monetized?
Well, I'm not sure. I didn't do enough.
Because if they are, fucking good for him.
But all right, let's hop into some more storyline One Punch though. So before we get into some different shit, I wanted to talk about some of the big players that we've seen in the arc, or that are take part in this arc, and what our opinions on them are after such a long time period so far. So let's start off with Orochi. If your thoughts have changed on Orochi and what your perspective is on him right now as of yet, like the heroes that might fight him, how well he'll do against the different kinds of heroes that we've seen revealed now. How do you think those fights are gonna go now? What are your thoughts on Orochi as of right?
My thoughts on Orochi haven't changed. I mean, he's been showcased to be like the biggest threat besides Gero. So I don't know how strong Gero is, but obviously that's like the mastermind behind all of this. But Orochi might be just the strongest presence physically. So I think the only person that can take him out is either Tatsumaki or Saitama, and I don't see Tatsumaki fighting him because I believe that she's going to fight Gero. So Orochi will be Saitama's father.
Wow.
But let me add to that, Satsuki. If what you say is true, and Tatsumaki does fight Gero, we have to remember that Orochi is always with Gero.
That is true.
Actually, the last time we saw them, at the end of chapter 94, they were together still.
Yeah, man. See, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, because we've now seen the strength of Child Emperor, we've now seen the strength of Flashy Flash. We now know somewhat the strength of Disciples. Is it still implausible for every single hero that's come down here to fight Orochi and to win?
I'm not entirely sure, but they definitely need to team up. Like, one of them, it doesn't seem like they can get the job done. Like, even though we haven't seen his full power yet, just chapter 92 is like, wow, he is, I think, the strongest monster we have seen since Boros. Like, so friggin' crazy powerful. I love it.
Sundown?
Yeah, I'm down for that. I was gonna say, I feel like all the heroes present need to kind of team up. If Tatsumaki teams up, it might be a little bit harder to kind of convey that fight, seeing as she might be stronger. Well, she's definitely stronger than the rest of them, so she'd be more of a hassle for Orochi. But I think all the heroes need to team up versus Orochi, and even then, I think they'd lose. And then Saitama comes and just kind of does his thing.
Oh, and going back to how strong Gero is, we don't know exactly how strong she is completely, but we do get a glimpse of her power because back in that chapter 92, she tries to bind Garo, and he's able to break out of it. So that's kind of giving us like a glimpse into her power. So she is a dragon. She has Esper abilities, but she can't hold Garo down for like more than a couple seconds. So I think that's showing us like she's not as strong as Tatsumaki, but like way more powerful than Fubuki.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
Is Orochi in the webcomic?
No.
Ooh, really?
So I'm gonna throw this out there. It's probably gonna sound real stupid, but do you think Orochi could just be kind of food for Garo's growth?
It's very possible. Because he did lose to him, so it's possible that he comes back and defeats him. to show like how much he has grown.
Yeah, because that would make sense to me. Like, if let's say if the heroes come across Orochi, get defeated, then Garo comes out and he's like, "Nah, it's my time to shine." He pulls him down, bums him, whatever, and then maybe Garo versus Saitama.
And
You know
that would
what?
certainly be amazing. It would be like a reverse Goku situation. Did you know
That
like
sounds-
Goku always shows up to save the other guys who are in the arc? Well, this would be like Garo shows up to save everyone, but then he's just going to beat the shit out of them anyway afterwards.
Yeah, and then he gets.
What were you saying, Satsuki?
No, I was just saying that sounds more plausible because I forgot I literally forgot that Garo got his ass beat by Orochi. Like he's just laying there. He's definitely got to fight somebody. He's not just going to get laid out without him becoming stronger, because that's what we've been seeing from him this whole arc. So what better way to, showcase, or like maybe he eats a monster cell. I don't know.
So he's a
I don't
final
know.
villain?
But something's, I think so. Either him or Gyro.
Not Orochi.
Not Orochi.
See, I don't necessarily agree with the Tatsumaki point that we brought up earlier. The comparison that was made between whenever she turned Evil Eye into a ball, I think who it was, and then when Garo turned those fodder monsters in front of him into a cube. Sure, the people who they manipulated were completely different scales, but the feat was comparable. So that, to me, that was more to tell me that, okay, these characters were either going to fight later on, or we're comparing their abilities for a reason. So I'm still speculating on Garo's strength, but him failing to pierce or to pin down Garo does also indicate inferiority in some minuscule aspect. And then, if you guys remember, Pooty pointed out that Tatsumaki didn't kill Evil Eye in just one go, or in the one instance that she thought he was alive, and that's when she turned him into a ball, if I'm remembering that correctly. So I'm still on the fence as to how easy that fight's gonna be. I want to say that Garo is probably most likely, obviously, gonna win. She's not gonna be moved out of the story like that. Maybe she gets saved, but I'm not Garo, excuse me, Tatsumaki. But I'm interested to see if Orochi and Garo are going to fight together, and if somebody encounters them as a team, or if it's going to be the other way around, where Garo has to take initiative in some aspect because he's her plans at a sync. That's usually what happens with like when King's around or when Saitama's around. People's plans don't usually go according to plan. So I kind of feel like something's gonna happen to where somebody's gonna get put out of place. Whether it's, and I made a theory about this before, and it's probably not gonna come true. Whether it's the monsters or some of the executives actually leaving the hideout to go assault the Hero Association because there's a lack of heroes defending it, or whether it's them actually like jumping one hero at a time or some shit like that. Whatever the instance may be, because I'm not sure how the art's gonna play out at every webcomic. I don't think it's gonna go stereotypically for Orochi, either in the aspect of Garo using him to improve himself as a redemption portion, or as in like Saitama defeating him. That's why I mentioned earlier that it would be most opportune to see everybody up against him and then them fail, because that's the only thing that I can really see that's different, and that like isn't gonna be too foreshadowed or too sought for. You get what I'm saying? I could obviously see Saitama going up to him and beating Orochi. I could obviously see Orochi beating or fighting Garo once again, and then making him the next villain or whatever. But shit, bro, Flash is fast, but what are you gonna do to them dragons, bro?
Shit.
Pooty is strong, but them angel wings ain't gonna hurt that dragon.
Nah, he getting the fuck out of there first quarter.
Yeah. Child Emperor got that Millennium Nova, but Orochi got like 5 or 6 of them shits. So
going back to what you guys talked about earlier about how the similar opponents are matching up, so far that has been true. Like we saw the speedsters, Gale Wind and Hellfire Flame take on Flashy Flash. So that's the fast guys going against each other. Then we saw, this is a little more subtle, but I guess it still applies. Phoenix Man against Child Emperor, because Phoenix Man is one of the more intelligent members of the Monster Association. Maybe the most intelligent of them, possibly.
Mhm.
So he took on the intelligent hero, Child Emperor. And
I just
then,
want to add real quick. He also does like recon shit, which Child Emperor does as well.
there you go. Even better. And then we saw the 2 horror-themed guys go at it with Zombie Man against Pure Blood. So that's kind of the comparison there. It's like they're both, horror elements to them. And then what else do we got? Oh, a My Mask versus Super S. So I guess they're similar because they're like sexy. I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking. That's why I'm thinking Sweet Mass is going to have another fight because I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think it's like they sexy.
Yeah, because they are. I mean, that's like their thing. They're attractive. And then Pig God taking on the was the Great Food Tub. They're both eaters.
Shit, man. I mean,
I'm saying it's possible that this could keep going on, and we're going to see the 2 Espers go against each other in Tatsumaki and Giro Giro.
What about the 3 disciples versus Devil Longhair?
Could be possible, like Akama, Itachi, and the long hair. They're like, I don't even know how to describe them in this social climate we're in right now. I'll just say they're like Okamas.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I had said I'm not even going to say it because I might get, I don't know, canceled or something. I said the T word, and I'll just write it in Discord so y'all know what I'm talking about. I said that, and then I got I was getting somebody attempted to bully me in my comments section.
Whoa! Bullied by a social justice warrior?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's hard out here now.
Dude, it is.
Bruh, I need to know this word. What did
No,
you
that's
say?
not even that bad. I was going to say that.
Which word is it? Where am I looking?
For the people.
For the people.
Think about the most popular genre of rap right now.
Oh, that was a good one, Zhoniin. That was a good one.
Oh man! Wait, so you guys, these guys grouped up on you for this shit?
It was just no, it was just one guy, and he kept writing me paragraphs, and I was like, eventually I got to the point I was like, I'm not going back and forth. I'm done.
But bro, so you said this word in relation to Devil Longhair or
I
Okamai
said this
Itachi?
word. It was a character from Hunter x Hunter, and I'll show you the picture, and you be the judge on if this person looks like the word I said in Discord, because I don't know.
Nah, dude, that's what Togashi does. He puts those into his stories, just randomly.
Yeah,
I mean, it's. I've said this word because obviously the General Akbar from Star Wars. I've said that quote from it's a trap, it's a trap. I've said that so many times in regards to wait, is that a he or a she?
That's a girl.
Nani?
That's a dude.
Stop.
That's a dude.
Oh, no.
Y'all fell into your trap.
You said it, not me. All right, bully Grimm in the comment section. You have free reign.
But I gotta admit, I've said it a few times, and no one's ever jumped on my case. Luckily enough, the subscribers I have seem to kind of roll with that shit.
I don't know. I didn't think it was it's like an anime term. It's the same way we use lolicon. Are petite women going to get mad at me for using that word now? I don't know.
I mean, but with Okama, I think it was that actual podcast. But I was surprised when I think you or Keishan confused Devil Longhair for being a woman. Because I'm like, that's clearly a man.
No. I didn't confuse Devil Longhair for a woman. I confused Akomatachi for a woman the first time I seen him.
No, yeah, that's what I meant. Okamatachi, yeah. It looks clearly like a man, bro. Or clearly like a man, yeah.
I don't know.
They at least, or should I say, one in Mirada are at least trying to show us that Okama Itachi more or less is not entirely a guy, because he has the broad shoulders, he doesn't have huge tits, but like other times, like they don't even really try. They just, oh, this is a chick, but we're just calling it a dude. But you know, like with Okama Itachi, they're at least trying to show you, like, yeah, there's something there that we can actually see, other than just, oh, a chick with tits and ass, but oh yeah, it's just a guy just because I say it is.
Yeah. No, 100%. That's literally what I would define as a trap. Yeah, where in that picture that you just posted, right, it should be in on the stream right now if you're looking at it, guys. That's a woman, bruh. That's a little girl, bruh. Lolicon shit. Yeah, how you know how they usually do in anime? Fucking, she looks like she's like 3, but she's really 400 or some bullshit like that. Fucking, that's what it looks like. That little ass girl looks like a fucking little ass girl, but that's a nigga.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing with Haku from Naruto.
Oh my god.
Oh, that was the first one.
Yeah.
Bro.
Confused everybody.
Oh, Haku is low key beautiful as fuck, a homo.
Oh, Grimm, stop. Stop.
But I don't know. That just further shows it's like Haku is only a girl. I'm sorry, Haku is only a guy because Kishimoto says that he is. But with Okama Itachi, like, we can see what is going on there. Haku, it's like, other than him saying that it's a dude, we would have no idea.
Yeah, with Okama Itachi is more ambiguous, but it's sometimes it's not only with gender, it's also with age, which is really weird because you'll have somebody that looks like they're fucking 8 years old, and then they'll slap an age on them, like, no, they're 2000.
Yeah, that's a real prevalent topic right now.
Yeah,
it's like, it's okay to masturbate to these characters because it's actually 2,000 years old, so it's all good.
Oh, wasn't it what the fuck did I hear? That the UN or some bullshit's trying to ban anime, or like
What?
Yo, I swear it was. I heard an article like that of viewers. If you know what I'm talking about, hop in the comment section or hop in the chat right now for the premiere. Because of like the lolly shit, or like the pedophile shit that goes on with some type of like mangas and animes like that, because it's quote unquote not real people. It's not the same, but like I guess they're trying to like ban that media source. It's
oh man.
Yeah, it's. I also found out that censorship is like all across the board for like sexual acts in like Japan, I guess, or in that medium. But if it's not a sexual organ, they don't have to blur it. That's why apparently the whole tentacle porn thing is so big, or it started off so big like that in Japan, because a long time ago that was still the rule, and then the artist got around it by drawing tentacles that are fucking doing that shit.
Oh.
Like, I know you said that I heard, but like, who been talking about this shit to you?
Like, bro, you know what they say about Facebook being wrong? It was Facebook. But nah, that's shit, dog. But Okama, like we already stated, Okama's a little bit different. He looks to an extent like base masculine with feminine adjectives. But either way, it's still the same, still badass.
Looks better than the Okamas from One Piece.
That's for sure.
Okamas from One Piece are just dudes, like butch ass dudes with like weird clothes. At least Mirada and One are trying.
Holy shit! All right, so let's talk about some other character prospects of the arc so far and our opinion changes.
Wait a sec. Yeah. Before we move on from traps, yes.
Uh-oh.
We're not done yet.
Inazuma from One Piece. I could never tell. Was Inazuma a he or a she?
Oh, that's a boy.
Wait, who is that?
Inazuma's the scissor guy?
That was I think that was a dude.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was a dude too.
Because I thought so too, but I'm pretty sure.
Oh no, when he transforms.
We see Inazuma with like certain chesticles. And
I think he can, or he got. Didn't Ivanka give him something?
Yeah.
To allow him to do that?
Probably, I don't know, man. But like when I saw that, I was like, I don't know what to think no more.
Yeah, I think he like changed genders in the middle of the episode too, because I was confused. Because I was like, wait a minute, weren't you just a dude? But yeah,
I'm not bothered by any of that shit. You know, it is what it is. No, because it's like, all right. So for example, like that is like a social abnormality or whatever in terms of like how people look at it. But like in these stories, they're just other characters that have particular instances to them, and as long as that character's strong, like in the genres that we're reading or shonen or whatever, as long as they have relevance to like what they're doing, I don't even give a fuck. Like one of my favorite characters is Ivankov because he's so badass. Because the things that he did in Marine Corps, Kamatachi's not far behind it because he's also showing badassery. He even has arguably one of the rare sword techniques out of the three swordsmen or the three disciples. So that's not really ever a problem, viewers. If you guys are trying to take it like that, we don't have any kinds of problem with these characters. It's just when like in real life, when that type of individual tries to come on to you, or like whenever there's like some stupid ass trope that's built only around that aspect or that adjective of the character in a story, that becomes annoying. Like fucking when the guy or the girl that's really a guy or whatever is always hitting on some fucking some other guy, and the entire thing is based around that. I'm not reading this for that. You know, add that shit into like a minor part of the fucking arc or whatever. Like I don't want to see a whole storyline based on that shit. And it doesn't happen often. So,
Bruh, Beelzebub did that.
for
There
real?
was this guy there's this guy that had there was this chick that had a thing for Himikawa, and all the way through you're like, yeah, that's a dude. Then it's dropped as a she, and you're just like, well, okay, I suppose. Reverse trap?
Yeah, but I'm good either way, bro. As long as the character's interesting, I don't give a fuck what they're about. If they suck dick or not, I'm off that. I'm not worried about it. But alright, let's keep pushing to the other guys.
Oh yeah. All right. Back to Inazuma. Before we leave the trap discussion, the reason Inazuma can change genders is because of Ivankov's fruit.
hey,
Yeah, okay. So then that brings the question of what was Inazuma first, a he or a she? I assume he, but we can't be sure.
It doesn't say, but I guess since he's like base a dude, he's always a dude.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Alright, y'all satisfied now?
Now one more thing. No.
yeah. Let's move on. I'm sorry I even brought this up.
No, it's important.
Oh shit. So let's do a few in a row. Child Emperor, Tatsumaki, Darkshine, and the Ninja Duel. Opinions on them as of yet, if they've changed.
I guess I'll start with Gale Wind and Hellfire Flame because I believe that they're going to be beaten by Gyro, like on some shit where we've seen this trope a couple of times in anime and manga where you have a villain fail and then like the top tier villain, the boss or the end game villain, they're like, you disappointed me, and then they kill him. I think that's what's going to happen with Hellfire Flame and Gale Wind. Either that or I don't know, like they'll be served as food for Orochi or something like that. But the reason why I say this is because there was one panel way back when, I don't know what chapter, where Hellfire Flame and Gale Wind are talking, and I'll post the panels after I read this, but they say apparently they've also got sidekicks and robots, of course referring to the heroes, and then they say robots don't matter. There's no machine or mechanism fast enough to react in time to the moves of ninjas. So that kind of like foreshadowed them running up on Child Emperor. I mean, they didn't actually fight, but they had a little clash or whatever. And then they go on to say, what do you think about sidekicks? And Gale Wind says, I'll just assassinate any before they can even think of conjuring tricks. So I believe that they're going to fight a sidekick, and I cannot see them fighting Tatsumaki. And I'm just thinking in my head, what are you going to do with these two characters? Are they going to survive this arc and have something to do with Sonic, or get beaten to kind of showcase how strong Gyro is? Because we have an idea, but not anything really set in stone other than Gyro's rank. or disaster level.
That's a really good point that you brought up.
Yeah.
Because I forgot that they had said that. The chapter you're thinking of is 89. The chapter that we've just been talking about a lot throughout this podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do say that when they're like fighting on the water and whatnot. We're first seeing like them in action. That's a great point because like what we were talking about earlier with how things just don't just get said. They don't just say things and it's throwaway. There's meaning behind almost everything that is said in the series. So it's possible that they are going to encounter an Esper. I hope it's not Giro because that means that it's likely they're going to get killed. I hope it's not Tatsumaki because that means the same thing. And as what you were talking about, what's going to happen with these characters, they kind of have to survive this arc because what's the point of bringing them back after their definitive death where we, the audience, were ready to let them go? I know I was because that was like, oh, they're dead. They fought Flashy Flash, they're dead now. But now that they're back, I think they have to survive this arc and just go on to be more characters in the story to bolster the roster. So they could just be another kind of character on the side like Sonic. They're neither good nor bad and don't really have any allegiance to anyone except themselves.
See, that's the biggest pivot point. Like, when they encountered Saitama immediately after the end of the chapter, I thought it was going to be that. To where, okay, they don't get beat by this guy, but they get beat by that guy. And it's a resolving issue. But that's out of the window. So I don't think it's going to be a throwaway kill or throwaway resolution anymore. It's going to be something more significant. But then that's where the options open up. Because if you guys remember when we met the reinforcement team, there was a ninja among them. She did have ninjutsu.
Yeah, Shadow Ring.
Yeah. So, like, it's not like Mirada isn't slowly seeding in more of the ninja world. We got that, and the fact that they're alive, this is giving us hope for that. But then that's the question where you brought it up. Are they going to be relevant in terms of Sonic and his growth later on? Are these going to be persistent characters that are just like out in the world doing stuff and then they're not really relevant anymore? Are they going to be like help build to another threat later on? I'm not sure because. To the examples that we have, like the House of Evolution, stuff like that, some of the other assassin groups that Flash handled on the side, there hasn't really been any organization besides the monster organization that had a huge significance for a long time. Even Boros came in for, I believe it was only like 3 or 4 chapters, and that was a whole squad of guys. The House of Evolution was being scouted out by the association, but that got resolved by Genos and Saitama in a separate confrontation. So it's not like there are very many groups that cause huge issues. So to see the small little seeds start to be placed, it gives me hope for that. I'm not saying that we got to get a whole other ninja organization out there led by Sonic and Hellfire, or not Sonic, but Gilfire and Hailwind or whatever, or some group like that going on. But it just makes me wonder: is there going to be a ninja world after this? Is that what we're looking towards? Or
did you say a ninja war?
Ninja world.
Oh, world. Oh. I don't know. The way that they make it seem, it's like there's not a lot of ninjas. It makes it seem like they're like Sharingan users. Yeah. There's like only a couple out there.
See, I'm getting the feeling that we're gonna see Flash come up against some quality Dragon class monster, and it's gonna be one of those situations where Hellfire Flame, Gale Wind kind of run into him as he's fighting this Dragon level threat, and they kind of have to put their differences aside and take him down together.
That would be cool.
I don't know about that because like I'm just thinking of some of the monsters that would, because they would have to get in a situation to where the monster that's fighting Flashy Flash hypothetically is like, I don't know, going berserk, and the only monster I can think that would do that is Rover, because he's like a fucking beast. I mean, if it was a situation where Flashy Flash was fighting Rover and then Rover just went berserk and just started blasting everything in sight, then I could see that. But other than that, I don't know.
You know what? There's one other Esper that they possibly could encounter. So as they're leaving the Monster Association, it's possible that they run into Fubuki, Bang, Bomb, and King entering the Monster Association.
Wow.
I don't want to see Fubuki encounter these motherfuckers, honestly.
No, they got Bang and Bomb with them. She'll be all right.
The fact that I saw Goro deflect bullets, that gives me a lot of hope in terms of seeing these martial artists deal with weapons. So I'm not on that same stance where like if Flash runs up on fucking Bomb or he's getting his head cut off or his hands cut off.
No, I don't think that at all. I think Bang would beat Flashy Flash.
I don't know if I want to get into that.
No, we shouldn't because it's not a good idea, but I'm just putting that out there, in my opinion. I think Bang is pretty fucking powerful.
I think I said this before, but the reason why I have any hope for him is whenever the meteor came down, he seemed, I believe he said, what if it would have been my chance? Or something that he said alluded to the fact that he had another weapon or something else that he could have done to destroy the meteor. So I know that he's powerful, but I'm not sure if that, what he was referring to, was what he utilized in tandem with Bomb to pop Elder Centipede. Which is an exceptionally powerful attack, no doubt. It's that Elder Centipede can regenerate to an extent, or shed his carapace. So, I'm not sure the potential of Bang. I know that he can fucking fight hand to hand like any kind of monster in the world. I now know that he can also commit exceptional DC, but up against Indomitable Speed, another great ass factor, or like other destructive capabilities like the weapons that Metal Knight or Child Emperor could produce, I'm not sure if he'll stand the best advantage or how he would be able to deal with those issues. So that's why, like, I agree that Bang is number 3. No question about that. But what does that really mean?
No fucking clue.
All right, then what about Darkshine and those guys? Darkshine and the Tatsumaki and Pink Guy.
Well, we already went over Tatsumaki. I think it's bound for her to run into Giro, especially at this point, since everyone has been whittled down and we kind of see where their opponents are going to be. I mean, I think it's pretty much guaranteed that Puri is going to run into the Smelly Lid Prisoners, and we already see Devil Longhair taking on the Disciples. So then we have Darkshine. Like, what's he going to do? So there's only one other person for him to fight at this point, and I don't think it's going to be Orochi.
Who?
Anybody else want to take a stab at this one?
Oh, wait. I'm trying to think of like the motherfuckers we have left. I don't even.
We got the
You said it at the beginning.
We got the guy with the Audi belly button.
What? Oh no, I'm not even talking about the executives.
You talking about monsters in general?
I'm talking about what we have left before the executives.
Oh.
What, the demons?
Yeah.
Oh, we have fucking G5, Bug God, and Devil Longhair. That's all we have.
Known demons? Don't we have more than that? Known demons? Or no?
They all dead. So that means Darkshine's either going to fight G5 or Bug God.
I'm putting my shit on Bug God, to be honest. That's what I believe.
Because if Darkshine encounters G5, then your theory might go out the window. Because that nigga ain't fucking losing, and he ain't gonna need no help. But
let's be real though, like with Darkshine, who do you think he could actually lose to beside like one of the dragon level fighters? This guy, I feel he's going to be immensely powerful.
Bro, I don't even know what to expect from this guy, to be honest. Like, fucking indomitable strength, no doubt. Great heart, so he'll keep fighting no matter what. He'll always keep a good attitude. He's a tank for sure. But I don't know what else I should expect from him.
He's the protector of the Hero Association.
Yeah. Do you think there's gonna be like some sort of like some sort of weird thing to him where he stops fighting because it's like 20 minutes before his bodybuilder's feeding time or something like that. He needs his injection of protein or something like that. It's 20 minutes past his anabolic window. His like anabolic window is just closing. I can see it.
Sundown?
No.
I was saying, why words like anabolic window and stuff like that?
I did a sport and exercise science degree.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, man.
But I seen Satsuki benching though, so you know.
So you vicariously benched through him?
Yeah, man, that's how it works. If you watch someone making gains, you make a tenth of those gains.
Hey, I agree.
You tripping, man. Look, bro. If he fucking stops in the middle of a fight to eat a sandwich, I'm gonna be mad as fuck, bro. This ain't no katakuri bullshit. Fuck out of here like that, dog. If he stops to do some workout, I'm not with it. None of that shit, bro.
He said this ain't no katakuri bullshit.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, that was a little odd.
He just stopped in the middle of the fight, eat some donuts.
Let's stop this epic ass fight and let's just make Katakuri a little more likable. Even though I could have did it beforehand, I'm just gonna do it mid fight.
But yeah, like I don't like he's super exciting. I'm just as like optimistic about his exceptional power level and his the art that's gonna be associated with him fighting as any other fight. Flashy Flash fight was fucking amazing in terms of like the speed and how Mirada depicted the speed. So if this guy is the power variant of the extreme, are we gonna see like fucking him punching buildings like shattering buildings like Saitama does, or like?
I don't know, man. He's hard to gauge because, I mean, we already have someone like Puri Prisoner he's like just a strong individual. It's like there's nothing really, like everybody has their gimmicks and styles and whatnot, but I don't know how far they could go with like somebody just being muscular and strong. I don't know. So I just can't really guess what he's gonna do.
I don't. Oh my god! Like, this is me fanboying. Viewers, this is my fanboy moment. You can just. Oh my god! Please don't fight Rover. Please. Oh my god, no.
Woo. Rover, that's a beast,
bro.
I don't know who did I say was gonna fight Rover. Oh, I didn't write anything.
You said the ninjas.
I did? Shit.
Flashy, or was it somebody else? Or was it Sundown that said that? You said somebody said that Flashy Flash might team out with the ninjas to take on a rampaging Rover.
Yeah,
actually,
Sundown said that.
It was no.
Sundown said
Hey, I didn't say that.
No. Sundown didn't say that specifically. He didn't say that specifically, but he brought up the situation of Flashy Flash Mike teaming up with Gelwin and Hellfire Flame. I just said if that were to happen, the only way I would see that happening is if Rover is their opponent.
Yeah.
Rover goes berserk.
I'm looking forward to him so much, bro. Like spamming the fucking that shit was so badass, bro. That was the turn up, bro. That's like that was Dragon versus Dragon, bro. Like, oh my god.
I fucking love Rover. I love Rover.
That shit was fucking top tier as shit, dog. Seeing Goro in a perilous ass situation and him pushing through the entire time, looking calm, cool, and collected while also getting fucked up, bro. Like, that was that fight, bro. Rover was that fight, and because I know that Darkshine is gonna bring the fucking rain, bro. Like it's gonna be a hype ass fucking chapter when he comes through for real. I just, oh my.
I do want to say the two biggest anomalies in the when it comes to the monsters is first Black Sperm, because this fucker is sperm. It's like it's like with some of these names, like they're very to the point, and it's like in your face. Oh my god, that sounded so wrong.
Black sperm in your face.
That sounds like some type of a porn title. I don't know. Black sperm in her face.
6.
You know you're associated with the official backstory for Black Sperm, right, Satsuki?
I am. I didn't create that. I'm not the author.
Yeah, you did, bro.
I'm the audience. I was the audience.
You sitting there jacking off so much, wiping it on your little doll for so long.
No, that is not me. But yeah, him and Evil Natural Water, because I'm just like, bro, it's water. I don't know.
And it's natural.
Yeah, it's like it's fucking water, bro. What are you gonna do? Like, I mean, if you're in water, there's a lot of things that you could do. Like, I don't know, have like, have like strong ass currents and shit, and I don't know, change the temperature. But like, I'm just thinking, like, how the fuck does someone fight water?
Well, maybe he has a physical form, and his just kind of base form is the natural water.
Yeah. That could be a possibility.
I'm a little worried about that character because we've only seen one panel of it, and that's it. And it's like it's quickly brushed by. So I imagine that most of the manga readers of One Punch Man have no idea that this character even exists.
That's true, but like, fuck, you're gonna know more than me, so please don't like give me any hints. But like,
I've been on this podcast for 6 months and I haven't so far. I'm not going to.
Yeah, I know, bruh. My nigga. but the Audi nigga, the fucking troll looking fat ass with the Audi belly button.
Fear ugly.
Fear ugly. Yeah, bro. Like, he's gonna be fucking ferocious, and we only got one panel of him. So I'm like, it's valid. It's not like. Fuck, I don't want to say that those minuscule portrayals are gonna mean anything significant because I don't really have any other examples in my mind of what has done this before. But like, I just don't know what to expect from him either. Like, guys like Suki said, how the fuck do you fight water? Besides like fucking setting it on fire or burning, evaporating it, like how the fuck do you fight water? And like, he's only been shown one time, so that's either gonna mean that he's gonna be super duper strong, or it's gonna be some like Flash shit. Right, just beat him like nothing, and I don't think that's going to be the case if he's an executive or a dragon. So I'm just like, I have no idea what to expect at all from Evil Natural Water or Fear Ugly or Homeless Emperor either,
or Black Sperm or Nian or Gums.
I mean, it's like with those, it's like I can have an idea at the very least of how they're going to fight. Maybe, like headcanon shit, but it's with Evil Natural Water and Black Sperm in particular, I have no fucking clue what they're going to do. I just don't know. No ideas are coming into my mind. Besides what Sundown said with him having like a different form or something.
The only idea that we really have of how crazy overpowered they could be is based off of the executives that we have seen so far in Goketsu and Elder Centipede. And the fact that we saw these guys already and they were killed, it's possible that these executives are going to be stronger than them. And also, Hellfire and Gale are only executive candidates. They're not even full-blown executives. And they were like, we saw what they were. They were insane, and they weren't even good enough to be executives.
Yeah.
All right, because this is getting into real literary technique shit. And please remember, viewers, that these authors, their literal job is to ensure that we don't know what the fuck's gonna happen next. So me looking at like tendencies or like patterns and shit in other stories or in this story itself doesn't mean it's gonna happen whatsoever. But maybe some of these guys that we've been seeing get fights are being reviewed and given these accolades for a reason. In particular to make the heroes look stronger. So that when they do fight that next guy, it is more of a toss-up as to what's going to happen. Or the author has more room to hype up the monster instead of having to spend time hyping up the hero. A lot of times that happens in stories where you may encounter a new fucking villain, but because that character's new or because the author chose to hold back that character so much, they spend half the fight hyping up the main character as well as the villain. This is a way to like get around that. You know, just like Zhoniin pointed out, the duo, they're strong as fuck, but they were just candidates. They weren't even like, and even in terms of dragons, they weren't even the strongest of dragons. I wouldn't even call them true dragons. They were like just dragons or no dragons to me, besides their exceptional speed. So like that, especially with how Flashy went about defeating them, it did more so to me in showing me how strong Flashy was than emphasizing how strong they were. So I'm simply saying that like, what if these next guys, or what if this tactic of like having the heroes beat these monsters in a pretty easy manner or in a not so complex manner is to hype up the villains later on? Like, I don't want to say this because them niggas is badass as fuck. But what if for real, Elder Centipede and Goketsu were just average?
I think Elder Centipede might have been average for an executive. I mean, of course, he's super durable and super huge, but like his offense wasn't really anything special. Like he couldn't really do anything. Like he hit bang in them, and he didn't really do much, and he doesn't really have a wide range of attacks. Like the most significant stuff that he was able to do was like when Genos is like straight up in his face. He was able to like cut him in half, but even then, he still couldn't take care of him. Goketsu, on the other hand, he just seemed like one of the stronger ones, in my opinion. Like, he was super freaky, and I think that's the reason why Saitama had to take him out.
Yeah.
Also, he was personally recruited by the association, and it's kind of implied that, well, at least from what I've read, that the other monsters of the executives were kind of just found. Like, Girogiro went out and just found them because they were so powerful. But Goketsu, they went out of their way to go get him.
Just like a girl.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like that.
See, now, it's difficult, man. Like I said, I don't know what to make of these other guys. I think Satsuki pointed out that we could, just by their body types or maybe even one or two little, like, quirky details, we could kind of tell how they might fight, but there's a few of them we can't, and I think that's super exciting. So,
I won't say specifically who it is, but if you go back to chapter 89, which we've been talking about so much, and they show all the executives, if you look at the panel of one of them, it shows you exactly what they are all about. So there's at least one that we know what type of style they have.
that was like the most detailed explanation ever.
It was?
Are they carrying a sword or something?
Nah,
I have to
bro,
go back
you
and
talking
look.
about, bro?
I have
Who's
to
he
go
talking
back and
about?
look. I'm not sure. I
If
don't
you
know.
look at the panel, you see what they are about.
What, do they have a sword, a weapon, a burger?
Yeah, they have that.
You know what though? Fura Ugly, he looks like a "Hey you guys" type of thing. I'm sorry.
Oh,
He does kind of look like Sloth from the Goonies.
Does.
I also think he's reading hentai.
For real?
what
Yeah,
hentai
it's
is
like
he reading? though?
his panel. He's reading One Hurricane. It's meta.
Yeah, I was about to
wonder if he
say
knows
that would be like surreal.
Oh shit. All right, and then what do we have left? Okay, we have Genos and the Fubuki group. I want to call it that now.
That's the Fubuki group. Say it with your chest. That is the new
No,
Fubuki
it's not
group.
that.
Yes,
What
it
does she
is. That's her
specifically
group.
call it? She says like the new Fubuki group or something like that.
Yeah,
Is it the new
that's the
Fubuki
new
group?
Fubuki group. Like that's what I've been
I mean-
calling it.
It kind of is. I mean, they don't really object to it.
Bro, that's really like. when I
What's
look
up,
back on-
Genos?
Yeah.
No, I mean Genos isn't even in it. It's just Bang Bomb and King.
No, but I think when we were leaving the house, when was it? She said it when more people were there. I'm not sure. If
Yeah,
that
it's
was
at the end of chapter 93.
Okay. Because I'm like, that's probably like one of the most exciting parts of the past 20 chapters. Seeing like, because we already had them hang out once or twice, but now that she's pushing this narrative so hard, and I know she's gonna keep pushing it, I love that. Like, I want to see Bang, Bomb, or not necessarily Bomb, we can leave if she wants, but Bang, King, Saitama, Genos, Fubuki all in one group, and then seeing that grow and them interact with more over time. That's fucking. I got Shuryu possibly being a prospect for that group because of how friendly he got with Saitama and him actually seeing Saitama's power. If you guys notice, and I vow to you viewers, I'm gonna do a video about this, about those who know about Saitama's power and King's power, and how their interactions work. But that's like one of the most interesting things about the slice of life in One Punch, like those interactions. So I think Shuryu could be part of the group. Snek. Listen.
No, I like Snek. I think he's a solid character.
Yeah. But maybe we need one or two more interactions before he becomes prevalent in type of that aspect. But I can definitely see Snek getting involved with the group because of his dynamic with Saitama already. He also knows of Saitama's power to the smallest degree. Fubuki knows to a small degree, or to a higher degree than Snek, but Snek also knows. Genos obviously knows completely. Bang obviously knows completely. King obviously knows completely. But in between those same people I just mentioned, they don't know of each other's powers. So it's oh my nigga, I love that dynamic so much. So
I know. I wish we saw more of that group shit, like in the numbers bonus chapter when they introduced the Saitama group. It's so awesome. Have you guys read that one?
That's when they were playing video games, right?
Yeah. And Fubuki like challenges them, and he's like, "Oh, I got my own group." And then they just bust the door open, and it's like Saitama, Bang, King, and Genos, and it's so awesome looking.
Niggas were dying.
They were serious. They were serious.
Yeah.
They walked in.
That panel is so fucking iconic. I think I have it saved. I love it so goddamn much.
Can you link it in the?
I'm about to post it because I think I saved it. It's just too good. It's like, I don't know. As soon as I saw this, I posted it on Twitter like a year ago. I was like, name a better squad. I'll wait. Because it's just so iconic. These like 4 awesome characters, but they're all incredibly powerful in their own right.
Did you read that side chapter Sundown, or you didn't get to?
I don't think I read it. Might have done, but I can't remember.
Oh man. Don't have Fubuki show up. Just let her stay home. But still show her. Just don't show her fighting these motherfuckers. I don't want to see her get fucked up.
She made a pretty big commotion up against Saitama. Not to lie, honestly. She was throwing around a few things. I'm not sure losing to Super S is probably like, yeah, but like
she technically didn't even lose.
It just got interrupted.
Yeah.
As Tatsumaki was like, yo, I'm shutting this shit down.
And that's a pretty incredible performance if you consider the fact that Subarez is a demon and Fubuki is just B-class rank 1. Like,
Yeah.
A-class guys don't even have any excuse fighting a demon, let alone a B level.
Yeah. But yeah, they made the point that Fubuki is definitely stronger than her rank indicates, but she just wants to stay at the top of her class, so, you know.
Exactly.
Which I'm not mad about, but it's whatever, man. And then finally, Genos.
I just made a video about Genos too, about like what he's been up to and when's he coming back to the manga.
Oh damn! Well, shit, check that shit out. Go like that video. Go watch that video. You want to give us like 1 point from there that you mentioned?
Sure. Yeah, I'll just wrap up the video real quick. So, Genos isn't in the strike team because Child Emperor personally thinks that he is a traitor because he read Genos's data and it found that his location was in Z City, which of course is the same location as the Monster Association. But, you know, we the readers know that he's just living with Saitama. There's nothing traitorous about Genos. But also added to the fact that Child Emperor also discovered that Genos was the sole survivor of the attack on his town. Like, his attack was wiped out, but he was randomly the only one who survived the Mad Cyborg thing. So that also made Child Emperor suspicious of Genos. So he asked Segengal to exclude Genos from the strike team and exclude him from gaining any information about it. So Genos, of course, isn't aware of all this. So he's at the Saitama's apartment and whatnot, and then when they're all leaving to go, into the Monster Association and whatnot, because King tells them, what's going on, Genos decides to stay at Saitama's apartment and wait for Saitama to come back, because they don't know that Saitama's already in the Monster Association. So that's why Genos is just waiting at the apartment, and the new Fubuki group, which is Fubuki, King, Bang, and Bomb, are going by themselves to the Monster Association. And in the video I just talked about, other than explaining that, I talked about the possibilities of what Genos, when he could be coming back to the story. So I thought, originally, he would have been tipped off that something is going on after the Millennium Emperor Nova, because that shit happened a couple blocks down from the apartment.
Yeah.
So I assumed that he'd be aware of that shit, but I guess not, or maybe he'll come back later. But I also said that at some point, they're going to have to, come to the surface or something. Because I don't think that they're always going to be in the Monster Association, the depths of it, the whole entire arc. Because it's getting kind of crowded down there, especially with Orochi's big ass down there. They're going to have to come to the surface. So I assume that that's when Genos will probably be reintroduced to the story, if they decide to come to the surface at some point.
I can't blame Child Emperor for being wary of Genos coming from Z City, because all the bad shit happens in Z City. That's like the Bermuda Triangle of the verse. All the bad shit happens there. And if you said, "Yo, yeah, I just came out of Z City," I'm gonna be like, "What? What?"
Oh. Exactly. It's like Florida.
And the thing is, the Bermuda Triangle is near Florida.
Yep.
Yes,
one of the points.
Oh shit! You had that on tap.
Bro, how long have you had that just sitting there?
That's Satsuki, man.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
Oh,
They
shit.
said Florida's well, y'all don't read Hunter x Hunter, I don't believe, but it's the dark continent of.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Hunter x Hunter goes to Florida in an arc or something. Or
They
take
would've
you to a
died.
super dangerous place. We're going to Florida.
Don't make it up.
Oh man.
They're all kind of weird Nen users down there. Got weird Nen.
So I guess we could scale them up. In the previous video, I talked about how I think Genos may be dragon level now, or be able to fight dragons instead of just being just straight body. Who would he beat, honestly, if he encountered any of the villains that we've already seen beat so far, or the ones that are still have yet to be revealed? Does he have a chance of beating any of them 1-1, or how are we seeing Genos right now?
Rover.
Bro, I know we just talked about him, but you're not going to start disrespecting my nigga like that.
This is, I swear, that's the only person I could see him fighting. I'm just looking through the villains. I don't, monsters. I don't who else? Black Sperm? I don't know.
G5?
I don't see him fighting G5.
So, I said,
I don't know.
Genos returning to the story is unknown at this point. We don't know when it's going to happen, but we are running out of winnable fights for him. Because, there's only a couple demons left, and it's very likely that the S-Class heroes are going to take him on, part of the course of what has been happening so far. So when Genos does come back to the story, there's only going to be dragons for him to take on, or help take on. And we saw that, in his pre-Daedric form, he was able to put up somewhat of a good fight against Elder Centipede, but he couldn't get the job done. And we can assume that he is much more powerful now than what he was before, but also there's kind of like that a limit to how powerful he can be, because like his gear that he has right now is like really unstable. Like Dr. Kuseno sacrificed stability with it just for maximum power in it, power output. But if he does decide to go over the limit that was set on it, he'll have 10 seconds to be like crazy fucking powerful. Like the implications of it are pretty impressive. But after that, he's done. So this is like typical Glass Cannon Genos stuff. This is more or less like an improvement of what we saw when he took on the meteor. Like how Genos threw that briefcase and he like Tony Starked himself into like this crazy cannon. This is more or less like that. Like, you know how Genos did that, had this crazy powerful attack, but then he was just done after that. This is kind of the same thing, except instead of just one big blast, he'll become like Super Saiyan for 10 seconds.
So then I think it depends. It depends on the matchup, because like if he comes across something like Evil Water, then you'd anticipate that maybe like with his beams and stuff like that, maybe he has some sort of like heat-based attacks besides that. That would work effectively against something liquid-based, especially if evaporation and shit like that can damage Evil Water in any way. So maybe it's just a matchup thing.
It's very possible, because we saw a glimpse of what like an S-Class hero against a liquid-based opponent would be like. Two examples, actually. So Garrow, when he first encounters the sludge jellyfish guy, he like splatters him with like a standard Garrow punch, but then he just comes back together and he's able to survive that, which is pretty impressive because
when Phoenix was performing his recon, right?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive because sludge jellyfish is a tiger, and Garrow's like at that point in the story like demon dragon level. And then we also see sludge jellyfish take on Child Emperor in chapter 97. And Child Emperor couldn't really do anything to him with his bladed attacks and stuff like that. He was only able to defeat him after pumping him with gas and then lighting him up with an explosion. So that could be setting up Evil Natural Water if he has a similar characteristics to sludge jellyfish.
See, I'm glad that Mirada pays attention to like that type of aesthetic, like what they are and shit like that. That helps. That makes a lot of sense. So then, with what you mentioned earlier about the whole glass cannon thing and how like it'll be like a 10-second spiel again, almost somewhat similar to Child Emperor's timer that was placed on him after a certain amount of time.
Exactly.
Does that mean that we're gonna get a big ass, hugely hyped up fight anticipating that time limit?
Well, I mean, the time limit has already been set in place.
No, I get that. I'm just saying, like, so in order for the time limit.
Oh, you mean, are we gonna keep checking the clock like what we did with Brave Giant?
Yeah, like what should we get? Because once again, thank you, Murata Sensei. Oh, I don't know, but 155 pages to hype this motherfucker up, bro, and every single one was godly. So not only because it's Genos should it be a godly ass looking fight and drawn out, but because he now has this other time aspect thing, should this be another banger or like?
Hell yeah.
Genos needs a win. He needs a big win. And even if he goes out in the process of doing it, just give him the big win, because that's something that has really escaped Genos so far. So why go through all the trouble of making him this powerful and giving us the Chekhov's gun of him having this 10-second ultra power boost if it's just going to be for Vayne? So I think Genos, first of all, needs to take down one of the executives, but he also deserves to.
Okay, well, I got another aspect for you, because I don't mean to connect this through literature again, but to a certain extent, the author and the readers are connected. What he writes is what we read, and his job is to try to physically display what he's feeling and what his thoughts are through the pages, so that we interpret it. So we technically are supposed to be on the same page to a certain extent. So if he doesn't fulfill this, if he doesn't give Genos a fight with this huge hype and build up, I haven't noticed like a disdain or a hate or distrust or shit talking for Genos and how he loses so much. There are a lot of memes out there and it's funny, but I don't really see the fan base hating on Genos for it. They just understand that it's a thing that he's getting past. So the question is, if he loses again in this fashion, will it be too many losses? Or does it depend on how Mirada does it?
For me, if he loses again, regardless of the situation, I'm gonna push that Genos is. I don't want to say trash because he's still an S-class hero at the end of the day, but it's like, god damn. I'm one of those people who I don't hate on Genos. I'm just waiting for that big ass W. I'm waiting. I'll be happy if it happens. But if he does lose again, I don't know. I think the community as a whole.
Okay, I think
They're strong, but we know they aren't that strong.
Hey, Satsuki.
What up?
You cut out, bro. You gotta restate the last 10 seconds.
It just sounds so funny because it's just silent, and then you just come back like you were talking the whole time.
Okay, let me rewind. Let's see if I remember what the fuck I was saying.
All right.
I'm
keeping that sound in. I'm keeping that sound in. You fucked up.
I don't even remember what the fuck I was talking about. Oh yeah. Oh, I was saying if he does take another loss, I don't know, man. I'm just not gonna feel good about it because it's not just me. People in the community see Genos when it comes to his strength. Like they put him on the same tier as Puri Puri and Taint Top Master. And we know they're strong, but we know they have their limits. And it feels like Genos is trying to surpass those limits, and for him to stay in that same company, it won't feel too good. So that's why I brought up him beating Rover, because in my opinion, if he does fight G5, that's not going to be significant unless G5 turns into a dragon class threat. That's what it would take for me to be satisfied. I mean, if he does fight G5, he beats someone, I'm like, okay. But I just wish you would have had a more significant W.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like Genos really needs to be put in showing some work and like even if he like breaks down at the end of it, which is typical Genos kind of thing, he needs to succeed. He needs to get that big ass W. And I don't really care who it's against, so long as like obviously it's got to be above Demon class. This guy has just been. There's been too many L's. I feel like Satsuki was saying, the whole community just wants to see this guy actually succeed for once. And I mean, like he's done a pretty decent job. I mean, like after the tournament with like Suryu and all that, I think he fought against, who was it? Some sort of bug based one.
Oh, during the Super Fight tournament, Genos wrecks a couple. I think he wrecks like two demons. Yeah. One of them is Face Ripper, and then he runs into Awakened Cockroach.
What about the cat?
Yeah, Awakened Cockroach.
What else? Sorry, wasn't it? There was a big ass cat. I think it was the cat that Saitama was chasing after with the little girl.
And Grizzly Nyan. That's from a bonus chapter.
Okay.
But yeah, this guy, he just. It's not just that he needs a W. We need to see him actually reap the fruits of like what he's sown, and that would be like all this effort he's been putting into like possibly training in the background, but also the upgrades and stuff that Kuseno's been dropping into him. He just needs that W, man.
So then let me because it'll be a good benchmark to see. Current Genos versus Metal Bat. Who wins?
Metal Bat is turning that nigga into scraps.
Yeah, he's kicking his ass. Yeah.
Zhoniin?
There's too many unknowns. Current Genos, we don't know anything about, and Metal Bat, we don't know how far he can go.
But if
I get asked so many questions about Metal Bat, like Metal Bat versus this character, Metal Bat versus that character, and it's like, I don't know. So far, he hasn't really done that well. It's more about the potential that he has.
That's true.
I was just thinking, if he put a blast cannon to his chest and do that shit, I'm not sure if he's getting back up to get stronger. So,
I mean, yeah, it's mostly based on, like Shona said, his potential and just the fact that I like Metal Bat better. You know, honestly, bias. So
Let me just throw some of the. I don't want to get too much into it because we'll be talking about it forever, and also I want to make a video about it where I can talk about detail. But
hell yeah.
some of the literal contextual evidence that we get about Metal Bat's power is one, he is immortal and cannot die. Right? Number two, yeah, I know this all sounds weird, but it is true.
Okay.
Number two, he can become infinitely powerful. And number three, he can defeat dragons. But we haven't seen any of this yet. So that's why it's hard to answer who can beat Metal Bat and who he can beat.
What the fuck, man? What the fuck? You know, bro? You're the most trusted source of One Punch Man in the entire community.
Thank you.
I 100% trust everything you say the majority of the times. But you also know I'm going to speculate and try to fuck out of every nigga who stands in front of you, bro. Whether it's my nigga or some random ass YouTuber. And I'm going to have to see that, bro. I'm going to really have to see that from Metal Man. I'm not only because of what you're saying is like so like it's so incredible, but
I know, I agree.
But fucking Metal Man, that's that nigga, bro. That's
I love him. I love him. He's my second favorite hero.
Shit, if he all right, bet. If that's the prospect for him, then I'm excited to see how that happens. Whether it's in 2 arcs, 3 arcs, whatever it is, but Metal Bat was a fucking joy. All you well, I don't know why I keep saying this, but if you're anime only, you happen to have stumbled upon this and you got this far.
All of you random anime onlys that have been listening to this podcast for 3 hours, you're really gonna love season 2.
Yeah, season 2, bro.
That's one of the things I'm most stoked on about season 2. It's just Metal Bat versus Garo.
Oh man, bro, when he hopped off the fence, bro, and then.
Did you guys see that animated manga of it?
no,
It's not like a motion manga. Like they put in some serious ass work into this thing, and it looks amazing.
You gotta drop that link. I've seen.
I don't even know where to begin. I forget where it is, but it exists. Some Japanese or some Chinese dude made it, where he like edited the manga to make it look like it was moving.
Wow.
It's really, really well done.
I've seen Shiryu is whenever he kicks Saitama up and then slam him back down and then did the knee thing to him. I've seen that animated.
Oh, it might be the same guy then.
It might be. I've also seen the Genos one where he's on Elder Centipede's back and then we see like the cross where he's like bashing on his fucking his cannons while he's running, shit like that in motion. I've seen that.
Oh shit! I didn't even see these. Yeah, it's probably this dude. He's amazing.
Yeah, oh my god, and it's
he has like a full channel, but it's not on YouTube. It's like on some weird Asian site that like I don't know gets by copyright issues.
That's fucking amazing, man.
I think the link might be on the subreddit.
All right, we'll check that out when we can. Cause that's oh my god. All right, and then before we head out, to finish off the evaluation of people we haven't seen so far, so the new Fubuki group, can they beat Rover?
No, I don't know.
I'm going to take a guess and say no, because I think Rover is stronger than Elder Centipede, and they couldn't even take down Elder Centipede.
The only connection I have is when it's just hard to connect really. But Goro mentioned that the flowing water smashing rock style is not necessarily anti-humanoid, and Goro struggled against Watchdog. Goro's strongest attack is called Sit Down. It didn't really do that much to fucking Rover, who was a literal dog. So that's the only thing that I could see as to like a foresight between that matchup for the guys losing. But besides that, these niggas are fucking incredible. They really can't deal with Rover at the same time, like two of them, with the assistance of Fubuki in the back or something like that.
I mean, they could do stuff, but I don't think they get the job done. Like Garo's strikes to Rover's leg, like did nothing. Like literally nothing. He was just standing there, and then his full power strike, he just shook it off. And it's not like this is just some random dude. Like he's pre-woke Garo at this point in the story is outrageously powerful.
This is a dragon level. He's a true dragon.
Easy.
When I say the term true dragon, it means every possible definition, every possible instance, any possible anything that you can remember, think about, feel, imagine about a dragon. That nigga has it. That nigga can do it, or he can do better. Goro is a true fucking dragon. Gokenshi is a true fucking dragon. Who else is a true dragon that we've seen?
Phoenix Mine, reincarnated.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
He is.
I mean, he's literally a dragon.
He's a dragon, and I would even say he's a high dragon. But like, yeah, I guess I'd have to call him a true dragon. Yeah. He's a true dragon. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you got it in there. But Brad, fuck, man. I guess Rover will win. I don't know. I'm just, now that we talked about all these different villains that we still have not seen yet, their potentials. I'm just, I want to cry, bro. Like, I love One Punch Man so much, bro. Like, it's so good, nigga. Like,
yeah, it's only getting better after this point.
This is so fucking good. Is there anything that you guys wanted to bring up before we head out?
Nah. Pit God versus Gums. That's it. That's the only thing I'm sure of at this point, really.
It certainly syncs up with what we were talking about earlier. The similar style matchups.
But he's the guy with his teeth, though, right? It was his teeth.
Well, Gums is shown to be, like you said, teeth, but also one of the panels that we see of him, he's like eating a monster.
Oh yeah. He has the horn in his hand. Yeah. See, I don't even know what to make of this now, bro. Like, so many of these could turn out into something else.
But when I was talking about, we see what one of the executives are all about, I wasn't even talking about Gums.
Shit, I don't know who you're talking about. Maybe Black Sperm? I don't know, jumping in the air and being super athletic. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what Black Sperm, he just jumps. That's his thing.
Like Mario or something.
Yeah, you'll never stop me as long as I keep jumping, you fools.
Which chapter is it?
Chapter 89.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of it, we get like a bunch of panels of the executives.
Holy shit, this is like 100 pages. All right, 50.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing.
Yeah. Bro, this was basically fucking chapter 89 discussion.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. It's just a pretty significant chapter.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. All right, guys. So that was it for today's session of the One Punch Man podcast. We have a lot to look forward to as we discuss in this session. The next chapter as far as we know, should be released around the 22nd. We're anticipating it to be around that day. Please don't quote us. We should get an update from Mirada before then, though. Like, subscribe, check out all the videos that the Hero Association has put out. Satsuki, what you been putting out lately, Satsuki?
What the fuck did I put out last? Oh yeah, I put out a video talking about some of the spring anime I would be watching. Of course, One Punch. That's obvious. One Punch Man, Attack on Titan. I'm watching Fruits Basket, which sounds very. I won't say that, but doesn't uh it's not much anime for the spring to pick up, but I think those are the three definite anime I'm going to be watching. So yeah, that's it.
This reminds me, viewers, from today on, start spamming King Engine everywhere you go, bro. The anime is coming soon, bro. It's coming, my nigga. That shit's coming, bro. If we start that wave now, it'll be just like the whole I don't know if you guys watch Seven Deadly Sins, but the whole praise the sun hashtag, that shit, nigga, that shit got propelled, bro. Everywhere, praise the sun, nigga. King is better. King is better. Let's hear that King Engine. Keep pushing, bro. What's up, Sundown? What you got going on there, bro?
On all of our videos, I would like it if you guys also put up the hashtag It's a Trap. We want all that smoke. Let's go. And
okay.
I've released One Piece double chapter review, so that would be 2 chapters.
Oh,
and I'm gonna do that with My Hero as well tomorrow, just because I was too lazy to do it last week. And I should release Taizai, which is also pretty late. So thanks, guys.
Hell yeah.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, we know you know that feeling. We know.
Hey man, hey. I made a condition with reviewing One Punch Man. I say I'm gonna review it once the fights conclude, and we didn't conclude the Devil Long Care fight, so that's why it happened that way.
It's funny he says that. That's the exact same reason why I did it too.
Yeah, lazy fucks. Get that shit done, bro. Oh, what's up, Zhoniin? What you got out there?
So I'm finishing up all my Patreon request videos. I'll have one out today, and then I'm gonna go more My Hero stuff, and then I'm gonna be dropping some Dragon Ball Super stuff. Yep.
Hey.
Not that good, but I'm kind of just doing it for the clout. Because Dragon Ball Super videos do so well.
Yep.
And it's not even fair because it's kind of not that good.
Dragon Ball Super has some of the worst writing I've ever seen.
Hey, you said it, not me.
When I seen Goku fighting Krillin in Blue Super Saiyan Blue, I said, man, I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, that's kind of the series in a nutshell. But hey, people watch the video, so why not?
Yep.
Yeah, fuck it.
And as much as that's just like it's really like Dragon Ball will never lose its value, no matter how bad it gets. That's just a juggernaut. As for me, within the next few days, we should get 2 Monsters Anomaly videos out. That's a new series that we started for like analyzing different phenomenons, locations, entities, shit like that, from different series. We currently have 2 installments for One Punch Man, 1 for Seven Deadly Sins, and the rest will come as we go. We plan on covering the spoiler, the project that should be coming in like 2 weeks. I want to do the Death Note itself. It's gonna be pretty badass to cover that. Yeah,
cool.
That one's like it's just thinking about the Death Note is pretty like scary and shit. And then whatever the suggestions that you guys want, you just let us know whenever we post those videos. And that's about it. Like, subscribe. We'll see y'all boys next time. Shout out to the heroes that couldn't be here. Matt, Blastart, Zars. Where the fuck is Zars?
Kishi.
Oh yeah, Kishi Poo.
Forgot Kishi.
Yeah. Check out all their channels just like that. Their links are on the channel side part of the recommended thing. So whenever you guys search through all the channels or go through the One Punch Man podcast playlist, check that shit out too. Y'all come through there. See y'all boys next time, man. Yo ho ho!